takes my soul, then God help you. Yeah, I'm a man with no answers. Yeah, man with nothing to lose. If the devil takes my soul, then darling, may God help you. Yeah, I'm a man with no answers. Yeah, man with nothing to lose. If the devil takes my soul, then God help you. Yeah, I'm a man with no answers. Yeah, man with nothing to lose. If the devil takes my soul, then darling, may God help you.
Coming to you from the award-winning Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge, PCA's 2024 Best of Leaf Midwest Cigar Bar, Indiana's exclusive Aladino Cigar Lounge, it's the Final Third Podcast. All right, welcome back to the Final Third Podcast. I'm Scott.
I'm Will.
Heine.
I'm Mike. We're one short today.
That's right. The kids are out without the parents.
Woohoo!
It's going to be nothing but trouble and mayhem on today's show.
Inmates run the asylum.
Dad's not here.
That's right. We don't.
Mom's
we
here.
can't. We can't
Yeah.
hear
Wait,
Mom
Mom's
because she's
here.
not
Mom's
on a
still here, but
microphone,
she's
so
not
we
live.
have no idea what she's saying.
Well, Heine, Scott, and myself were impatient, so we already started with the pour, and we're finishing up a little A. But today, we're going to be smoking the 2025 Rojas Street Taco Cinco de Mayo release. These, I know last year's were killer. We did these for Cinco de Mayo last year when we went to West Fork. But we got the 2025 one. I know Scott's already had one. I don't know about you guys.
So I want to
have
talk
not,
about this
so-
real quick before you light it up.
Yeah. I'll give you the makeup, but
with the cold. Oh, go ahead with the makeup, and then we'll talk about
So
it.
we have a Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, we're Mexican San Andreas binder, and Dominican and Nicaraguan filler. So medium plus on this one. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
And I would
So-
say this thing is kind of awesome because it's got a closed foot.
It's beautiful.
So with a closed foot,
Don't.
you
rip it
typically want to like basically light and puff right away
Yeah.
because you're going to get elements of the wrapper. And I can tell you, I'll just tell you right up front, you're going to get a massive hit of like black pepper, like right off the bat with this thing on the retro. And you're going to get it for 3 to 5 puffs, and then it will have 0 pepper,
Okay.
which is awesome because you can just get like this blast to your palate, and then it goes totally subtle to what I would call, at best, a medium.
Medium.
And then the whole thing just has a slow ramp all the way up.
Cool.
For me, I got, kind of some of the nice like hay notes, not grassy hay, just like more mature hay, very earthy. And then as it ramps up, you start getting the coffee and the nut, and then the pepper comes back about the second, third. So that's all the early tasting notes. I wanted to kind of get through it because I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what to expect. But I'll be curious to hear everybody's opinions once they
Well,
get
I'll
into
tell
it.
you, man, on the cold draw, I'm getting honestly like a fruity note, like a peachy kind of floral thing going on.
Yep. Yep, I totally get that.
And the band on this,
Very colorful.
very cool. Very festive. As it should be. Cinco de Mayo.
I will say smoking that little A is perfect
That's great.
because it's, I mean, what's
good
the
calibrator.
cost on that?
Like
Around,
680 or something?
$6, $6. So you got like 25 minutes and you're like, oh, I got to go into,
Yeah.
well, you said you smoke on the way to work.
Yeah.
You might not quite finish it. That's okay. Quick smoke and you don't mind,
Yeah,
right?
it's
It's
okay.
not like you're working
Yeah, I'm
on
not smoking a
$15
57 on the way to work.
Exactly.
Okay.
Unless I'm going to Louisville.
It's aggressive.
Like right now, what's going to blow your mind is you're going to get 2 minutes in, and it's just going to disappear.
I'm glad I got my sunglasses on.
You got a
see
little
it?
tear.
You see
Don't
it?
let her
Nice.
see you
falling.
dry.
Let me roll my sleeves up here.
Actually, we are out on the patio.
Yeah, so we're
We
on the
are on the
patio.
patio.
Sun's out, Tums out.
That's right. That's
So,
right. That's how we roll.
It was nice enough this morning. I mean, I'm wearing pants because we left the house at like 9, and it was like 40. So we went and did some errands, bought a lawnmower, bought a toilet, did some things, dull shit.
Those two are not related.
Bought
by
a
the way.
badass
Yeah.
lawnmower. I
I'm
saw
so
it.
pumped.
Yeah.
I
Clever
was not
girl.
like I didn't want to spend $5,000 this morning, but it was just one of those things. Like we go in there, the guy was like, "What can I do for you?" I was like, "I want that one." And Jim was like, "What about this one?" And I was like, "Shit." Well, the one that we ended up buying is the one that has the higher back seat, has the armrest, suspension on the front,
Okay.
pulley covers. So like the extra $200 for like the top of the line one.
It's worth
It's like, come on, yeah. So
Yeah.
the funny thing was, I asked him, I was like, "Do I get a discount for paying cash?" He was like, "Yeah, it's 2% more." I was like, "Cool, that's great."
less.
Or
2%
2% less.
less.
So I paid cash, and it's a 54-inch, wouldn't fit in the bed of the truck. So I was like, "How much is delivery?" It was fucking 2%. So my discount went to delivery. So
That guy's like, hey, I'm getting that 2% back. By the
yeah,
way.
I know.
That's right.
He was like, "Thanks for making my Saturday morning." And I was like, "Good. I hope your next sale is just as easy."
You should have said, you know what makes my Saturday? You come mow it the first time. For
Yeah.
free."
Yeah,
You
right?
teach me how to use this fucking thing.
All right.
What are we
so
drinking?
Yeah.
This is what we're drinking.
This is what we're
today.
starting with.
Yep, this is our starter. This is in the lounge. The rest of the stuff we're going to drink is not going to be in the lounge, but we wanted to highlight this one first because it is available here at the Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge. It's the Barrel Bourbon Foundation. This is a 5-year blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. Comes in at 100 proof. The derived mash bill, as they call it, 73 corn, 23 rye, 4% malted barley. The blended components, it does say 5 years because that is a minimum age statement, but it says that it's got an 8-year-old Kentucky, 5, 6, and 9-year-old Indiana, 8-year-old Tennessee, and 5 and 6-year-old Maryland.
I swear Scott was just reading fucking lottery
Sagamore
numbers.
Spirits.
It's a lot of numbers thrown out there.
That was a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
I thought Sagamore Spirits.
That might be Sagamore.
Oh,
That's interesting.
What was it on the last one?
The last one was 5 and 6-year Maryland, and yeah, that's you know, if you haven't had the stuff from Barrel, these guys make some awesome bourbons
blends,
and
yeah.
ryes. I mean, the Seagrass
Seagrass was the
That's
one.
one of my
is
favorites.
one of my absolute favorites.
Jen
from
loves
these
Vantage.
guys.
I think the thing with Barrel is that there is something for everyone in their line. Yes, please. Start us off.
I
yeah,
will.
They
You
made,
got it.
They made blending cool again.
Yeah.
They did.
Really?
They did a
Man.
great job with their stuff, man. Really, really like it.
I really like. Did you stop by A1 in Effingham?
I didn't.
Ah,
No.
Putz.
Dude. Look. I was on that work trip, and that was like my 4th work trip, and I've been gone
like
from like 2
4
weeks.
weeks,
and
yeah.
it was crazy. I basically was not home for the month of April.
So how was golfing? You had 2 golf outings
So
last week.
I'm walking like dog shit right now. It's
I
awful.
imagine.
Yeah. It's
How was your
absolutely
game?
awful. My game wasn't bad. We ended up doing scramble.
Oh, okay, yeah.
just-
I'd rather do a scramble.
I'd rather do scramble
Yeah.
all day long. Like, I don't mind going out and playing like with 1 or 2 other people and hitting your own ball. if
you
it's
don't
a
want to
Friday
watch me
afternoon.
suck all day.
That's it. Like, I don't want to.
You got the cork?
Yes, cork's right here.
Cork it, cork it, cork it.
Yeah. So for me, it was a lot of fun. Crazy thing was we had a guy who had never played before playing on our foursome, and he hit a 25-foot birdie putt, and then on 18 he holed out from the sand. I was like, 50 feet, right? It was
Is
fantastic.
that my buddy in the Chevelle?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Well,
didn't
green.
have to look.
Yeah. So we're outside. So this episode is sponsored by every sound effect that you get today.
Shout out to CXX. I'm sure
Yeah.
before
We'll
too
see when
long.
the train goes by.
RJ Corman, shout out. Springfest across the street. Is that what it is? Springfest?
Springfest here
Yeah.
in Ingalls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was hoping they had water on that giant inflatable slide, but they don't.
I'm
Yeah, it's
surprised
getting
Liesel hadn't
into-
been over there. And
She saw it.
oh, she's
No, she's with Jen. They're walking the dogs.
for now.
Yeah,
I don't know
for
what
now.
they're cooking something over there. There's a food truck, and Lisa and I were just talking.
Yeah.
It smells delicious. Like, we might have to go check that out. At some
So
point.
we did brunch this morning for Mother's
Yeah.
Day.
Where at?
Just at home.
Okay.
Daughters came over and cooked a big meal. They got bagels and lox for me. Homemade bagels.
Oh, locks.
Yeah, my youngest Adele made homemade bagels.
Nice.
They were fantastic.
That's amazing. That's
oh,
not
it was,
easy. Yeah.
No, they were incredible. She did not do the lye finish on it because, who the hell has lye in their kitchen? Nobody.
I figured you would, if anyone.
Did you know that you're probably
Yeah.
right?
But you
But-
ain't lying.
That's right. But yeah, I had bagels and lox, and then they also did like sausage and bacon. But they also made my older daughter Mackenzie. She made cucumber sandwiches,
Okay.
which I love cucumber sandwiches. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them. Basically, like cream cheese and mayonnaise and dill, and then cucumbers with a little salt and pepper. It's the dumbest thing, and they taste delicious.
tastes
So,
good.
at some point here, I've got some cucumber sandwiches for
be
us.
fun. We'll see which bourbon pairs the best with them.
Yeah.
There you go. Probably a good palate cleanser, all things considered. A little.
This is good. This one reminds me of Vantage because it has some citrusy notes on the finish.
Yeah.
It's got
Not a
some
quick
Extremely
finish.
fruity on
It's
the,
got
the
very
nose.
very fruity
Yeah.
up front
Yeah.
on the nose,
Yeah.
and the palate kind of transitions away from it a little bit.
Man.
But man, a lot of rich fruit on the nose.
Yeah, this is kind of one of those. There's certain bourbons that I'm just as likely to smell it as much as I am to drink it,
Yeah.
and this is definitely one of those.
This one's snortable.
Yeah. I like to snort my bourbon.
Very good. And the 100 proof means you can really get your nose into it without the ethanol
Yeah.
biting
Yeah.
at you.
That's good.
Now, I'd heard last week, I wasn't here,
Yeah.
I was on the road, and you guys were talking about the high nose, and I was
Oh, yeah.
surprised that nobody knew about the high nose. I didn't even think that I would have ever had to talk about it because
I feel like we've hit it at one point, but I've never been like, I'm gonna deliberately do that on purpose.
Well,
Yes.
and usually with us using the small rimmed Glens,
it doesn't open
it
as
doesn't
much,
open as
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
But if you're using a wider,
like a rocks or something.
rocks glass.
a rocks glass or the wide mouth Glen, it's
Yeah,
not a
like
Glen,
the-
but I
or
forget what it's
port-
called.
The barrel
port
tasters.
glass,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
a port glass
Yeah.
that would work well.
Yeah. The barrel taster.
the barrel,
is
yeah, it has a
almost
wider mouth.
perfect.
So-
you can go back and forth on it and get different.
I learned about the high nose technique probably, it's been at least 10 years We went on a trip out to Denver and went to a Colorado Rockies game and got talking with this couple that was in front of us, and they owned a winery. And they just bought their juice, but they did all their own fermentation, and it was all in 5-gallon buckets. I mean, they were in a strip mall, had a pretty big shop, you know, hundreds of bottles of wine available for sale. You go into the back room, and there was probably 200 5-gallon buckets.
Oh, man.
I'm like, this is crazy, right? I mean, that's an operation right there. But their wine was spectacular. Like they were absolutely knocking it out of the
So
park.
were they blending?
They were blending.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Now they would do 5-gallon batches, right? And they might have, they might buy juice by like the 15-gallon, but they were just fermenting in 5.
Yeah.
And so they were still making, a Pinot Noir or a Cab or whatever. It's just they had multiple fermentations and they just blended them together to go into the bottle.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they just batched out like 50
I guess
buckets
I'm trying
at a
to
time.
understand at what point do you not is it not advantageous to scale up and just go with bigger fermentation?
I would say they weren't shipping. It was only sold out of their storefront.
Yeah.
They had a
brick and
beautiful
mortar only.
tasting room. Yep, it was just all right there. And I mean, you're Denver, so you got a huge market. And they just kind of looked at what's it take for us to keep the shop filled.
And probably if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
agree.
Making good wine and good juice, like, don't interrupt the process.
Yep. I mean, they were not, cultivators. They're not. What do they call those folks that grow the vines and everything?
Grapers,
Viticulture
Yeah.
people, whatever.
Farmers.
ventriloquists.
Isn't that a vein doctor? No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, they were making great wine.
That's cool.
And this was, a decade ago when it was still,
Cool.
I mean, yeah, it was still the beer boom at
Well,
the time.
we all have our process when we're making something, whether it's food or whether it's spirits or wine or beer. Once you get a recipe down and it really is good, like, you don't want to change it.
No.
You don't
Oh,
want
yeah.
to F around with
I
it.
know I'm
Like,
not the only one that takes notes, right? Like, I write my shit down because I will forget.
Oh, I don't
I
write anything
do
down.
sometimes.
If I my smoking recipes are written down, like my barbecue sauces, my rubs, like even if they suck, like I want to know like that was not the combo. So I have a lot of like note cards because I'll fucking forget.
Mike's
Dude, I
little
made a
recipe
killer
book.
burgundy beef one time. I've never made it again.
Really?
I mean, it was like the best burgundy beef I've ever tasted in my life. Bouf bourguignon, if you're French.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And I've never been able to duplicate it because I don't write shit down. Nothing.
Bouillon. So
You get it one time. That's it. If it's awesome and you get it from me, you get it once.
So I did flank steak the other night. Bought some flank steak, threw it on the grill. What I did was I bought this 5 salt, 5 pepper seasoning blends. Phenomenal. And then I did 1 bouillon cube in some water, made broth. Soaked it in that for a couple hours, seasoned it, tenderized it, and tossed it on the grill for like 15 minutes. Dude,
Phenomenal.
so good. I mean, it's a great cut of steak anyways.
Yeah.
But like with that beef broth on there, man, almost like a gravy.
Bouillon cubes are awesome. Get the better than bouillon.
Yeah.
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 I have had those and they are amazing. I did not have any of that.
Yeah,
So-
we keep a jar, like an extra jar in
Yeah.
the damn pantry because we
man.
love it so much.
What I did was I used that juice too for the veggies. So I did like a medley of like asparagus and squash and like sweet peppers, and then I used that juice as like the base for the veggies. It was so good.
Hell yeah,
So
Man.
good. Now I'm hungry.
Yep.
right?
I had,
I'm
a, had a
I
granola bar
just
for breakfast.
ate.
Actually, we did go to
Alright.
Portillo's. When Big Jimmy was here the other day, he was sitting behind us. He called Portillo's and he was like, I got to get this buy one, get one free. Can you do it indoors? Do I have to go through the drive through? He got his phone. He was like, oh, I'll go to Portillo's after this.
So we were,
I can literally hear him
I know,
say
I
that.
can hear him say it too.
Bro, we're over in Fisher's.
Except it's about an F-bomb every third
Yeah.
word,
Yeah.
right?
Love you guys.
Let me tell you.
Love you, Big Jimmy.
Well, that didn't take long to get into food. You're making us all hungry.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
well, the
sorry.
smells and the sandwiches and the breakfasts and
Hey, you can
Yeah.
grab yourself a cucumber sandwich.
Get
I got
your
enough
cucumber
there.
sandwich.
Come up here and open them. Grab a cucumber
what do we have
sandwich.
going on? Let's get into sports real quick. Man,
What the hell,
hockey.
dude?
So Caps won the other day. They're killing it.
2-1.
Toronto lost.
Oh, that really? Florida
Yeah.
tied it up. Or not, no, it's
Who's them?
2-1, right?
Yeah, 2-1 now. And then Pacers dropped game 3 yesterday. Pretty bad. First quarter, they tied it up, and then only scored 8 or 10 points in the second quarter. It was pretty rough, but ended up losing by like 23. So game 4 is tomorrow. I'm directing that one, so hopefully we'll have a good game again, but then we'll
Thank
what are we
you.
doing tonight? Tonight we're going to IMS.
Yep, we're going to the Grand Prix.
Going to the Grand
I'm
Prix.
jealous
So
of you guys.
Scott, I'm good, thank you. Scotty's got UFC on tonight. So
I do, UFC 315.
Yeah.
You know, I really figured we better watch this since we'll be at the next one. Kind of want to be able to talk
That's
to
fair.
people around us and be like, oh, yeah, that, whoever won the last, because it's 2 championship fights tonight.
Those manly women fighters.
Women,
Scott was talking about.
Women tonight, and actually it's both women and men. So, yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be real good.
We don't have to shout out Dr. Scott. He's actually here.
Shout out.
Wow. Doc is here.
Doc is here. It's only because Rob's not here.
So that's the formula. One of us has to be gone, and then
One person
Dr.
has
Scott
to be
shows
gone,
up.
and then Doc shows up.
Yeah.
We
6
love you, Doc.
6 is a crowd. What else
Doc,
do we have
Doc,
going
what
on?
are you smoking over there? Knuckle sandwich Maduro? Oh, Gordo. The knuckle sandwich Maduro Gordo.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh, man.
Well,
yeah, we had a
look,
busy
Yeah,
week.
so back to the Pacers, right? They,
Yeah.
You know,
Tough.
no one. I don't think anyone here expected them to sweep Cleveland.
No.
No.
Cleveland's a really good team.
And they were at full
Here's-
strength yesterday.
Here's the deal. They got to win Sunday, tomorrow. They don't want to go back to Cleveland tied. Go back to Cleveland tied, that's not good. So
Yeah, that's probably a loss in 7.
let's shake it out. Hopefully they're recovering today, resting, getting treatment, because that was a tough game.
Yeah, James Johnson needs
It
to
was,
rest
it
up.
was really physical.
It was.
Like, it was.
So physical that with 5 minutes left in the fourth, they put in James Johnson. The goon. The goon of the Pacers. The
Yeah.
goon of the NBA. Played 5 minutes and scored.
Well, hopefully they
I got a
come back
foul in
on
like 10
Sunday.
seconds. But it was good.
Apparently, Alan Humfleet, if you're listening, you're not allowed in the final third lounge after the 5 minutes to go in the fourth. You've got
Correct.
to leave, go
Yep.
sit in your car till the game ends and we win, and then you can
Exactly.
come back.
Did
in.
he stay last night for the whole game? Well, see,
That's-
now, Alan, it's your fault.
It's his fault.
You knew better.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah, he screwed it up for us. Totally screwed it up for us.
The Fever play tonight. They're playing at Atlanta at 3 o'clock today. So
So I saw that Brazilian game went pretty well.
yeah, like 60-something points.
She hit like the almost half-court
Half-court?
Yeah, past her
three-pointer
logo.
for no reason.
It's ridiculous.
Just randomly, just like, oh, I'll just shoot from here.
Yeah.
What was
and
it?
drained it.
That team had Brazil, right? It was
Yeah, it was a Brazilian national team.
Yeah, it was like, I think I happened to click over to it, or maybe I was at B-Dubs or something, and I look up, and it's like the start of the fourth quarter, and they have 26 points. I was like, well, that's not good.
It was like,
It was tough.
I can't remember what it was. It was like 37-90 when she drained that three-pointer.
Yeah.
It was just nuts.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, well, I don't have to watch
listen.
this one.
Every kid in Brazil, when they're born, day one, they get a soccer ball in their hand.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they don't know basketball.
No.
like we do.
No.
They don't put it in their hand. They drop it on the floor
Yeah.
in front of them.
Yeah.
They
They
say,
start
don't touch it.
Don't touch it unless you
you're one
got
of the
big,
select
bulky
few.
gloves
right,
on.
If you got huge
Yeah.
gloves on, then
Unless you're
okay.
Mickey Mouse, don't touch the ball.
No, it's cool to see them progress, though. I'm hoping that they'll do okay in Atlanta. And then we have the Alan said, that's my bad. He should have left. Next time he'll leave to go see Sophie. So Alan's listening. Yeah, Fever. Looking forward to them this season. It's going to be a great season. Home opener the 17th. We're getting ready for that. Then we have the 20th and 24th. And, Pacers in between. So
let's talk one more sports thing here.
let's do it.
Today is the Grand Prix at IMS.
Yep.
Which
Some of
means
us will be there.
starting Tuesday, we get on the oval.
You get a new address.
That's right. I do. I will be down at the track every day that they are running cars. I make sure and clear part of my work schedule, and even if I got to take a call, I've got the badge, so I can just go in and out as I please.
His work
which is
call
awesome.
sounds like,
Right. I mean, I do park outside the track, so I can get in my truck, and everybody's told me they can't hear the cars. So I take work calls from the truck and then go back and forth. Now, I am likely 2 or 3 beers deep, but, that's just a thing.
it's just a connection. It's not you.
But important show note. So I know I will not be here next Sunday for
Boo.
the show.
Wait, I don't know if I will either.
Yeah, we probably need to figure that one out if we need to change something.
Yeah, what's next Sunday?
Well, just it's qualifications. So I'll be down at the track both Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday, down there Saturday,
if you want to come find me, I'll be Saturday in the B stand penthouse.
I will not be
Overlooking turn 1.
If
Are
you
you
want to
gonna
be
go?
there,
I can't Saturday. Saturday's home opener fever. So.
Okay, I'll be in the infield
Sunday,
at turn
though.
3
I
on Sunday.
may have some tickets for the party deck.
What's going on Sunday there?
It's
Just
qualifications.
Qualifications.
Yeah, finishing
Second
on-
day.
So they qualify everything except for the top 9. You get into the top 9, and then they have the fast 9 qualifying for the pole, running for the pole on Sunday. And they also do bumping. I think there
day.
is 34 entries. There's either 34 or 35. I can't remember.
I thought it was 35.
Yeah, okay, so there'll
Don't
be 2
quote us.
cars bumped.
Look it up
if
on
it's
your own.
35. That being said, special show note: a week from Friday will be Carb Day.
Carb Day.
We will be coming to you live at 8 a.m. on Friday.
You heard it here first.
If you cannot make it out there to Lot 6, if you look on Google Maps, just south of Turn 4, north of the start-finish line on Georgetown Road is Lot 6. It's on Google Maps. We are in Lot
Dead
6.
center.
It's not. We're right in the middle of Lot 6. Like right where it says Lot 6, that's where we are. We'll have speakers set up so you'll be able to hear us as well. But, obviously you can tune in from work. If you got to sit at your desk job and be bored, you might as well, watch us start our long day of heavy drinking
Bloody
and race
Marys
cars.
and
And,
fizzies.
yeah.
I
Yep,
have
all
the
the
pitcher
stuff.
again. I'll bring the pitcher for the bloodies so we
Excellent.
can just batch them.
I like that.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there a little early to set up, and
I assume you guys will be there about 7.
yeah, we'll do the same thing. We'll have some Sammys. We'll have some.
I, of
some
course, will
bloodies
not
and-
be hungover like every year.
I cannot get
wouldn't bet on that.
obliterated
I
again.
wouldn't bet on that either.
I have to work the 17th. So
I'll take the over/under on that one.
Or I'm
Right,
sorry,
right.
I am directing on the 24th, so I cannot get super smashed on Friday. Although I am taking that.
Good
day
luck
off,
with
but
that.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's difficult. It's a difficult.
You're not hanging out with a bad influence that day, so
Well,
You're hanging out with about 20 bad
yeah.
influences.
I don't know. You've only invited 340 people to the carb day fucking thing.
Dude, I'm just like whoever shows up. We make breakfast sandwiches until they run out, and we typically don't run out of any kind of booze or beer. Or
And if
Yeah,
you
we're
do,
looking
there's
forward to
plenty
it.
of food trucks around.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
there's food everywhere.
There's the margarita
Yeah.
camp. There's
Shots everywhere.
Shots down at.
I think I need to start with the non-alcoholic earlier.
The
this
Wisconsin
year.
guy,
The
the Wisconsin guy that
guys.
has the
Yep.
shots. yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good.
My liver's
month.
already kind of like, stop.
Yeah,
You got to understand,
Woodford
Scott's been
Woody
going
gonna be
here
there?
so long that when he goes for these 2 weeks, it's like a family reunion in
Yeah.
that lot. Everybody, it's the same group of people that show up every year.
Yeah.
pretty
I
cool.
don't think
It
you
is.
understand how much I drink. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And it is. That's a great call out. It's
Yeah.
one of the things we love about it. Like everybody's caring for everybody, making sure nobody gets, anything like stupid happening or anything
Right.
too bad. But yeah, we all definitely go over the top. So looking forward to seeing everybody again.
it's gonna be good. Hopefully, have some friends show up that we invited throughout the year
yeah.
because we
yeah.
just kind of
would love to see a
extended
big
it out.
love to see a big crowd out there for the podcast.
Yeah, we'll put
Bring-
the TV up again. We'll have the speaker out there again.
Yep.
So
Bring your camp chair and
yeah,
yeah. We'll
Gotta take
make
out the
everything's-
chairs.
Yeah.
So,
do we need my table again? Need my folding table?
Probably.
We'll
I
take
got
that.
a
I mean,
20-foot
yeah.
projection screen that just showed up the other day.
There you go. Full daylight might be a little tough.
Projects from behind.
Oh,
Shadow
there you
box it.
go. Yeah. Man. Yeah. So it'll be
I
a
mean, it's
production.
shaded. It's shady.
You gonna bring a couple lights this year? We looked pretty washed out last year.
I can. Yeah.
I think you probably should.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go back and look at it. I thought it looked a little
Okay.
whitewashed, but
Well,
I don't
it'll be
know
a-
how that camera shit
Wasn't
works.
it like
Yeah.
it was a
Well, you just need to get darker.
I don't remember, man. Oh, right. That's it. Yeah.
It was kind of overcast that
Early,
morning. 'cause-
Early, yeah.
Well, you had
I
the,
had the tent,
the white
so-
tents and the
Yeah.
white table, and everything was white, so it
Yeah.
kind of
And
white
we have no
balanced.
idea what the weather will be. I mean, for
Yeah.
all we know, we might have to set up underneath the tent and go from there.
That's
so.
not going to stop you.
Let's see what
No,
the extended
no,
forecast
rain
is.
does not stop us. It's not out that far yet, as far as I can tell. Like last I looked, you'd probably.
what
just
was
have
it?
to get
Last
there.
race day, it poured and thunderstormed like crazy.
Yeah, yeah. But I think the
70
that was after the race.
is the high, 40% chance of rain. So we'll be
It's
prepared
Indiana.
for that.
Every
It's
day's
Indiana, that'll
40%
change.
chance of rain.
That's true.
Yes.
It could rain today.
It could.
It's a beautiful day.
It is gorgeous.
So getting into the second third of this,
Yeah,
I'm picking up. It's definitely there's an earthiness there. There's some leather. There's some subtle coffee notes. Maybe chocolate a little bit.
Well, that cucumber did
Impact it.
clean slate the palate.
Yeah.
The second I hit this afterwards, I was like, oh, that's new.
It is.
Yeah.
Aren't that so stupid, those cucumber sandwiches? It's like
They're good.
They're delicious.
I don't even like cucumber.
It doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter.
You can hate
I'm still
cucumber.
gonna
It's
eat
like,
it.
this is delicious. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know.
I was in New Orleans a couple years ago for French Quarter Festival, and they did a whole 30-minute segment on how to make a Creole tomato sandwich. And it's literally just Creole tomato, white bread, mayonnaise, salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
But
yeah.
the production
Yeah.
and the delicate intricacies of how to lay the tomato and how much salt. It was so
layered.
funny.
How
I mean,
thick
it was
the-
comical.
How
but
thick to slice the tomato and
a
everything.
big old Creole tomato. I don't know if you've seen these, but they are ginormous. Like they're
I have
huge
not seen
Oh, they're-
tomatoes. Yeah,
Okay.
and they're
Just steak.
delicious. Yeah, they're better than beefsteak. They're just like super juicy.
I don't know. I go
sweet.
that far.
I don't know. I think they
I haven't had one yet, so
Yeah, I can't tell you.
But-
I can tell you this much: almost any food in New Orleans is fantastic.
Banger.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It doesn't matter where you go. Anytime somebody's like going to New Orleans for the first time and they say, "Well, what's the best place to get?" and I say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! There is no best place to
Yeah.
get anything in New Orleans. Everything's delicious. There will be something that you like better from one place versus another,
But
and
it's
that's
still
okay.
going to be the
It's-
best
it's
you've
still
had.
going to be delicious. Like you can have a muffaletta from 10 different places.
Yep, I'll be heading down this week.
Oh man, I'm
Oh.
jealous.
Either
man, I want to go.
Friday, Saturday. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
Thursday,
I want to
Friday,
go.
Yep.
It's awesome. You haven't been?
No,
Oh man,
still haven't been.
got to make that happen.
I'm so
We got to make a trip then.
dumb.
We got to do. Well, we're going to PCA next year, right?
Yeah, you.
We need to.
That's
Because
the
plan.
that's the last. Then it's
Yeah.
going to switch back to
Yeah.
Vegas. and
Right,
so-
Lisa. You guys are PCA next year for sure.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
That's
right
the
on.
plan.
So we'll get down there next year for sure in April.
That'll be fun.
So whiskey news. Last week we talked a little bit about some OC things.
It's a bird. It's a
Bird.
bird.
Right
Right,
on
right
the
on the
sandwich
thing,
right
just
there.
staring at the back of your head.
We talked a little bit about OC's next release because they teased it out.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so now it's been announced what their release is, and it's DH Cromwell. So for those that don't know what DH Cromwell is, it was a very limited release. 70s, 78, 80 maybe. It was. It's been a while, but this was. I think it was like 70 bottles that came out of this one barrel. It was 15 years old. I think it was Gordon. Not Hugh. It was Jackson. Gordon Jackson won this barrel at an auction, and it was a Stitzel-Weller barrel, and bottled it and named it D.H. Cromwell. It's Dirty Helen. It's a sex worker. Named it after her, Lady of the Night.
All right.
So I have no idea what the
World's
retail is going to
oldest
be for it.
profession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was called D.H. Cromwell for after Dirty Helen Cromwell.
Huh.
So
They will be pricey, and
I'm sure they will be.
even pricier on secondary.
Hey Lisa,
Yeah.
can we get some of that horror bourbon on the shelf there?
whore bourbon. That's pretty much what it is. So.
Yeah,
But I'll be curious to see what their MSRP is on that. I'm sure it'll be $2.99 or more, but
of course.
I do not know what that one's going for. I do not know where it's coming from.
Oh, I
so
don't know where
ask
this
me.
one came from. The last D.H. Cromwell I just looked up was a 15-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon from Stitzel-Weller, and the winning bid was 14,500 pounds.
Ooh,
There you go.
that's
Old school.
oof,
Yeah.
that's an expensive barrel.
Yeah.
The boys over at Pursuit Spirits, Kenny and Ryan, they've come out with 2 new lines to their core lineup.
Okay.
They're coming with a cask strength now.
Oh,
so
good.
they've always had the 108 proof bourbon and rye. Now they're going cask strength, and they're going to an 86.
And
proof.
which brand is this?
Pursuit Spirits,
Pursuit,
Pursuit
okay.
United, yeah. The cool thing is they redid their packaging. They've got new bottling with new big Pursuit ingrained in the glass. And the bottle design's different. I mean, they've had good whiskey, but their shelf presence was just, honestly, it was lacking. Like, the bottles just didn't stand out on the shelf. These, totally, the packaging's 100% better.
I like the etch
So,
bottles.
I'm excited for those guys. I
Yeah.
think this is going to basically bring them
Good.
up. Got a little more core line, a little more to, go after different segments of the market. People that don't want cask strength, people that do want cask strength, people that want in between. Now they got a little bit of everything. So
Yeah, good for them.
I tasted I don't know that I'd call it. I think they called it American whiskey. I don't even know that I'd call it that. Have you guys heard of Truman out of Missouri?
I have, but I haven't tried it. Yeah.
So I looked on the bottle and it said bourbon. It said, what does it say? Corn whiskey with bourbon, natural bourbon flavors. So the
so
only thing I
using
could
additives.
think was
Yeah.
it's got additives
Yeah.
in it. And, you know, it was everything that I expected it to be. But it is also $30, right? So priced appropriately for what it is. It's,
Yeah.
you know,
Just a
probably like a
whiskey.
year-old thing because looks like they're just getting off the ground. Beautiful bottle, right? Etched bottle, like great presentation, but the color was
Clear.
damn near.
It's like
right?
that Sundance
it
shit I got from
yeah,
Oregon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm not bashing because $30 a bottle, that's fine, right? You're probably
Sure.
going to find it on discount shelves at 20 or 25, and people like it and they'll be able to mix with it. It's an 80 proof, so I would suggest using it for a cocktail if you're,
Yeah.
you know, if you're budget conscious and that's a thing, and you want to support local, then absolutely no problem with that. You know, I'll be curious to see if they try to jump in on the full blown, you know, the full Monty, so to speak,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
and get barrels going. But great presentation. Their
Okay.
bottle was really, really nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So was anyone here the other day when Rob was trying, what was this, batch 3 or 4 RD1?
I was not here.
No.
No,
Rob
I was here
tried it.
yesterday for the
Kentucky Owl.
Kentucky Owl.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
got
it's a
one
bummer.
tiny little sip of that. That was good.
Yeah.
Is it
Did
$400
Tommy bring that?
good?
Yeah, no, it's not $400 good.
No,
It's $200 good.
Honestly, I liked the what's it called? The
Wiseman.
$200 one.
I don't remember what
What
you
did they
said.
do?
out here.
Confiscated?
The confiscated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I
it.
actually liked that one. Not quite as good, but for the price point, that one was way better.
Yeah.
Because I think that one comes in at like $199 or $220 or something.
Yeah.
My only issue with Kentucky Owl, I've said this before on the podcast, I don't think it's bad juice at all. I think when they went away from 12-year, 15-year age product that I first came out with, that was banger good and didn't lower the price
Right.
on their
Yeah.
lower stuff. Like, it just,
Yeah.
that's just not cool, man.
That's tough, man.
It's
Not
not. And it actually kind of diminishes the value of the brand overall, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, have some respect for yourself and for your customers.
And maybe they're in a situation where they can lower the price. I
Well,
don't
they
know.
went bankrupt and got bought, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so I want to talk about last night. So Rob and I were at Harris last night.
Yeah,
Right.
had your high rollers event. How'd that go?
VIP event. It was great. It was a great night. We probably had about, I see between 40 and 50 people show up.
Nice.
So basically, Rob talked through the McAuliffe Purple. We smoked the McAuliffe Purple. Everyone got 2. They got 1 to smoke there at the event and 1 to take home.
Very cool.
And then we went through 3 bourbons. We went through Whiskey Acres Bottled and Bond Bourbon. And then we went through Circle City Toasted Batch 3. And then we finished out with J Matt Double Stave. And I talked up the brands, talked up about the tasting notes, how to taste. Rob went through the transitions of the cigar and what to expect as we shifted to different whiskeys and how the cigar plays off the bourbon and the bourbon plays
Oh,
off
yeah.
the cigar. And I think everyone had a good time.
Yeah.
They had charcuterie boards at every suite. All 12 suites were taken.
That's awesome.
And
Gotta love the adult Lunchables.
Yeah.
of course, everybody had the Pacers game going at the suite
Yeah.
too. But very fun night. Gene and Roger, shout out to those guys. They put on a great event. Everyone seemed happy. A lot of people came up. I wish I would have taken a vote for the fan favorite or the
of the bottles.
but
yeah.
anecdotally, between just talking to people, Circle City Toasted, which was kind of that middle of the road proof. It wasn't the 100. It wasn't the 120. It was kind of right in the middle. I think it right at 110. Everyone really seemed to gravitate towards that one. The bourbon people that were there really went. They liked Circle City, but they also liked the Whiskey Acres, and they love the double stave because you get those rich dark notes.
Yeah,
and when you're
right.
at the final third of the cigar, it works
Yeah.
really well with that. Yeah, we had a great time. I'm glad we got to do it. So.
Good.
Well, we're done with that one.
There was
So-
also another thing going on here while you guys were off doing that was interesting. There was a group
Oh yeah.
that came in last night, and I don't know like who this group is. I don't know them, but we heard that some of them listen to the show, so thank you, appreciate that. But they were a debate group. I don't know if that's like all they do, or if this was just one thing that they did,
Just
or
a friend
what the
group,
story was.
yeah.
They did an Oxford-style debate, which I guess took like 3 hours.
Were they debaters or master debaters?
Ooh, I don't know. They were just debaters.
didn't
But
say
they
it.
were. I didn't say it either. But they were. They
I'm
were out
surprised
here.
you didn't,
and-
Heine. I was waiting on you to go there.
A polar bear fell on me. I didn't see nothing.
So
Wow, that was a callback. Roadhouse, baby. Yeah. So they came out here and, kind of wanted to talk about it real quick because they had called Lisa and said, hey, we want to do this. Is that cool? And she's like, well, the patio would work. And so she let them come out here and they arranged their seating and did their whole thing. And people could come out and listen, obviously because it was this controlled situation, right? Nobody's adding to the conversation. But they just did it out here. So, definitely if you got something that you want to do that's fun like that, call in and talk to Rob or Lisa and see if they can accommodate
What
you.
was the topic of
So
discussion?
I did not come out here because of the topic. It was the death penalty.
Oh, very
Yeah.
political. Okay.
Yeah, very political. And, I'll say that I won't say specifically my viewpoint on the death penalty, but I'll say that I kind of find that it tends to be more of a morality issue than something that can be argued with facts.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I can appreciate somebody having a healthy debate on it, but I think in most cases you're not going to change a lot of minds because it ends up being morality versus
Super polarizing.
It is. Yeah. I was like, man, I would have come out here to listen if it had been like, paying college players, athletes,
Yeah.
right? Something like that where it's like there can be some factual basis and
Brexit
some
or no.
good. Yeah, I mean, maybe, like, do you believe in, universal health care or things like that, right?
What's your
There's-
thoughts on Sasquatch?
Right.
All right. What are we going with?
Whatever you want to pull. Grab one.
in the spirit of race day,
Yeah,
do the old
let's
Hamer.
do that.
Stay.
Old Hamer.
Old Hamer.
Yeah, I picked this up. I was going to save it for carb day, but I can't make it because I have this thing called work.
boo,
Yeah.
boo,
I'm
work.
happy
Stupid
about it.
work. But then again, everybody relies on you for Memorial Day
Yeah.
because you deliver liquor.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
I'm the reason the fizzies are there.
Not all
Exactly.
heroes wear capes,
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
That is true.
Oh man,
Yeah. So that's
Tell
So-
us about this, Heine. What you got there?
we had this one last year.
So yeah, I think this is last year's release. This was I think they named it the Racing Fans Everywhere pick. It's 108 proof. It's batch Vroom Indy.
Nerd.
I didn't see that until now.
You're a
Yeah.
fucking
Blake.
nerd.
Simply known as
Blake.
Vroom Juice.
Vroom juice.
Vroom Juice.
Yeah, I think the first time we actually had this one last year on Carb Day, I believe.
We had it one
And
time, and Logan
brought it.
and blinded it.
This
for
was
us
one of the
one time.
blinds
Yeah.
when the
Oh,
first time
that's
we had
right.
Logan on. Super good bottle from Old Hamer. Hamer, not Hammer.
Yes, it is
from
Hamer.
West Fork. So, man, this was a good one. But in the spirit of
Now,
the month of May,
the West Fork stuff define Old Hamer versus. You want to do your own pour?
just lighten up.
Lighten up a little bit.
Two core lines.
That's solid. Appreciate
the Hamer line, which includes Old Hamer and Hugh Hamer, and then
Yes.
you've got the West Fork line, which is their own distance.
And yeah, these are all sourced, right? The Hamer.
the
The
Hamer
Hamer
line,
line sourced MGP. They don't hide that at all.
And yeah,
let's
it's,
not-
it's. I like that they do
And
that.
their mash bill is always 99.1.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of them are just like kind of follow that Chattanooga finish, like experimental things. They're just available
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Other
like-
brands that have done that, Bell Mead.
Yeah.
And then
I just
became
don't like
those-
Bell Mead.
See, I've had some Bell Meads that were awesome, but they're all MGP, right? It's just
yeah, I
MGP.
mean-
So
It's just
there was a couple.
some of them surprised me.
Yes.
You got me one when we went to Louisville in
Yes.
December that I was not expecting. That was killer.
Yeah, and I would admit they're either killer or they are not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very very kind of polarizing in terms of a brand.
Right.
But then that's Nelson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, its nose is so sweet.
It is. I mean, even the palate has got a lot of sugary notes to it. Yeah. Yeah. But it's good.
It's like a cream, like a. I don't want to say creme brulee, but burnt sugar.
It's caramelized sugar.
Yeah.
It does
All
have
day.
a bit of a custardy.
All right, this is gonna be weird
Element
because
to
I
it.
fucking hate bananas. Have you ever had the? It's a snack mix and it has like candied, freeze-dried bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I get out of this.
Okay. All right.
Because you know
'Cause
what
it's
they do?
not
They
super
spray 'em-
heavy.
They spray them with like a sugar spray.
And then like
Yeah,
bake them.
Then freeze
Freeze-dry 'em
dry
or
'em,
whatever, yeah.
Flash freeze, whatever they do. Yeah.
But it takes out a lot of that banana flavor, and you get a lot more of that sugar.
Right.
It's all concentrated sugar.
Confectionery
Yeah.
fruit.
Do you get any kind of custardy? I kind of feel like I get almost. Now that you say the bananas thing, I almost think like a
Foster's.
no, the what's the southern dessert, the banana pudding with like the vanilla wafers.
Banana wafers.
Banana pudding.
Yeah, it's
Banana
just banana
pudding.
pudding.
Banana pudding,
Yeah, it's kind of got a little.
What's that pudding that has bananas in it?
Right. It's like what are those sandwiches that have cucumbers and cucumber sandwiches? Ah, shit. You Brits got a name for everything. Sorry, it's a throwback to one of my
This is good.
my movies that I like called Wimbledon. Might not have seen that.
All
one.
right.
It went under the radar.
Spice level comes back
Yeah, I told you.
because the
Yeah.
bourbon's so sweet. You're actually pulling the spice notes back out of this now. Kind of cool.
I love it because you get that quick insight into what the wrapper is going to do.
Yeah.
When you first light it, and then it's completely gone, and you're like, "Oh, that was impressive," and then suddenly it's like, "Oh, okay, well, this is fine," and then it just
Comes right back.
it comes back. Yeah,
Man, that's so good.
man, I'm feeling like a lot of movie references. It's making me think of Get Him to the Greek.
That was a
What
good
is
movie.
it? What's the joint that they smoke? They call it
The Jeffrey?
The Jeffrey.
The Jeffrey.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the Jeffrey. It goes away and then it comes back.
Why did you do this to me? Because I love you.
just stroke the furry wall,
Well, we were quoting How High yesterday.
man. I think we got a nice selection.
Yeah.
These whiskeys are going, and this cigar, I feel like it could go. With
I
just
like
about
Rojas. I like a lot of the Rojas products.
I do too.
It's medium enough that it's not gonna punch you in the face. It's not gonna blow your palate, but it's gonna accentuate pretty much anything that you throw at it. Whether it's fruity, whether it's spicy, whether it's even something oily and tannic. It's still gonna
Yeah.
fit the profile in there somewhere where it stands out. It's kind of I really like the blend on this one.
I hope the Rojas. I know Rob's about to kind of redo the humidor, and I hope he kind of puts those Rojas back up more at eye level. It's so easy.
Slept
like
on
it's-
because it's almost in the bottom shelf.
I mean, coming in here and just being here a lot and smoking cigars and grabbing things off the shelf, it very much proves the point of position.
You're not going
Makes
to
a
miss
huge
this
difference.
box though, because this box is
This box
bright
is bright
blue.
blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So when you go in there, do you go to the same spot every time just because you know that's where your cigar
I
is?
usually do, and so I'm looking forward to
One
the
day,
shake-up.
one day he's gonna change it, and you're gonna go grab it and be
Just like the
"What
grocery
fuck is
store.
this?"
Yeah, what is this
Yeah.
thing? But I was wondering the same. Do you know how many comes in a box? I was kind of wondering about.
I think
Let's
it was
try
20.
to get a quick count how many boxes we have here at Final Third.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, we'll find
Just kind
out.
of curious. So.
Yeah, I still got my credit for this
I-
order.
Me too. That's
Yeah.
what I'm.
Don't
You
quote me
were
on-
thinking the same. I
Don't
thought
quote me
about
on
it
this,
yesterday.
but I do believe this was going to be the pairing of the month. Was
Shoot,
the Cinco de Mayo?
let's do it.
Oh
With
man.
the foundation.
Cinco
de Mayo
Foundation.
Okay, there you
yeah.
go.
Count it.
So this is we're gonna call it right now. So
Calling
Rob,
it.
you gotta follow through. He's
Oh,
probably
you weren't
he's
here
gonna
to
be
say
like
no.
texting us
So
right now. That's right. When
We'll put it
Dad's
on the
away, the
board.
kids play.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the retro's back, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
Wait till you get to the very end.
It's
and
weird,
it just,
too, because-
everything just ramps. It's a continuous straight
Yeah.
ramp.
I almost got like graham cracker quality on the retro, and I'm not sure exactly what note that's supposed to be, but in my head it registered as graham cracker.
I get it.
It gets punchy.
Cookie, cracker, yeah.
Yeah.
It
Wafer.
gets real punchy.
I mean, it goes with the wafers.
20
per box.
We only have a couple more boxes because I remember he thought there were
There's a few boxes.
box and whatever he ordered, they said it's half of them.
Okay, so
Wow.
this will be the pairing of the week.
Okay, this is a pairing of the pod.
Pairing of the podcast. Get in
They're
here
not gonna
today.
last long.
Yeah.
So.
I will refrain from buying a box, but I might go in and buy 4 or 5.
All right, so
At 20 per box, and we can't really say what price, but
let's
it's,
go
it's
back
reasonable.
to the track talk.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
So-
let's do it.
Scott's a pro. Drinks fizzies,
Yep.
maybe some margs, maybe some bloodies, definitely some Sammies, definitely some
And
Eagle Rare.
Some
I
Eagle
throw
Rare,
in.
yep.
I do throw in some like IPAs or something.
That's right, because we
Because,
brought
like-
some Two Hearted and
Yeah, like at the beginning of the day, you come out Bloody Mary, then you kind of use that to slide into a couple fizzies.
so this
and then
begs
I
the
pack
question.
some to the tracks.
The question is, and this doesn't have to be the question of the week, but just the question now is, how do you prepare for your smokes for that week?
Ooh,
Do you have a certain one? Because I know you like your Metropolitans in the
Your
morning,
morning.
which I still have
What
because we
you
do
still
drink
do.
coffee. We'll do coffee and bloody. I'm two-fisted.
but you're pretty much drinking all day, intoxicated to heavily intoxicated the majority of the week.
yeah.
Do you go in with the anticipation of just, I'm going to smoke a lot, I don't really give a shit what it is? Or do you still plan out your cigars for that week?
So I won't say I plan aggressively, but I do take Metros. I also take an extra amount of Metros because there are people that may want to have a cigar
That don't
that,
normally
that
smoke.
don't normally
That's fair.
smoke, and that's a good one to have.
Yeah, it's a sweeter one.
It's a solid one. I've got a box of the Candelas, so I will have some of those as well. Which
I
can
wish we would have
be-
got the Gorbustos before race.
Oh, man, I know.
Goodness, I wish
Trey
we
Mac,
had.
if you're listening,
Yeah,
meet us
yeah.
there.
Yeah, bring them to the
Bring them there.
black.
They're supposed to be
Bypass
on
the
their
lounge.
way, right? I mean,
They are.
they're on their
Yeah.
way. So we may have Gorbustos by the time the race comes
Oh,
around.
man. Yeah, we're a couple
Be
weeks
awesome.
away, but
But, my Zycar that I use, my case, it holds 40 cigars with the padding in it. And if I just, use one piece of foam on the bottom and then one piece of foam on the top, I could probably fit 50 or 60 in there. So I just pack a lot. That's my big thing is, I want to be able to open up my case and whatever I would feel like smoking,
Have
I've
a
got
variety.
an option in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a good call.
Scott opens it and goes, ooh, and then grabs one that he forgot was in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like an Orange Beach. He's
So
like, oh, I
then-
forgot I had that.
Same
Exactly.
thing,
It'll be
so-
like I'll pack a couple 57s.
So
I've
not
got, in fact, I'll
necessarily-
probably take the last two Warhead 10s that I still have here.
I'm out of those. So, Breeden, with that, if you know you're going to have a heavy party day, family function, whatever, what's your process? Do you go for something like a celebratory stick, or are you just like, I'm going to grab an A because it's a cheaper smoke and my palate's wrecked already?
If it's like a holiday and I'm out cooking or doing something like that, I want to have something good, but not the what I call the finisher, right? So I'm not going to smoke a knuckle sandwich probably then. I'll probably go with a McAllife, maybe a 601, an HVC,
Yeah.
something like that, just to kind of get me going. And then, depending upon the holiday, if it's cold out, I'm going to have a pour bourbon. Usually my go-to is some sort of wild turkey product, just because it just, whether it's, or Booker's.
We're talking like a Russell's or a Rare
a
Breed.
Russell's or
Checks
or
all
a
the boxes.
Booker's. I will go back and forth with Booker's too, because it just, those bourbon notes and those whiskeys just scream holiday time to me. And
That's fair.
That's what I go to. But
So
now, if I'm going on a trip though, and I'm
I mean, you plan that better.
I am more meticulous about what I'm taking. I think it out about I know I'm gonna want to smoke this
Different
many knuckle
times
sandwich
and-
and stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, I did, so when the Pacers were at Cavs when they had that game-winning 3, I did kill a half a bottle of New Riff Balboa.
Nice.
Not on purpose, but I was so hyped. Jen wanted mint julep, so I made a mint julep again. I already had my rocks glass out, and I was just pouring shots into the glass. And I'm like, this looks like a Glen size amount.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Wasn't.
No.
So it ended up being like 4-ounce pours. So this episode brought to you by CSX. We'll take a quick break.
Quick drink.
Let's we'll do a commercial. Final Third Cigar is Indiana's exclusive Aladino Cigar Lounge. Come to Final Third for a selection of over 20 different Aladino cigars, including the Cameroon, a wonderful cigar with nice light flavors. Make sure and visit Final Third, the Aladino exclusive cigar lounge for Indiana. Calling all dog lovers, say hello to Spencer Lee's, offering freeze-dried pet treats, crafted with care and bursting with flavor. Spencer Lee's treats are the ultimate reward for your four-legged friend. Made from single ingredients and freeze-dried to perfection, these treats are packed with all the goodness your pup craves. Be sure to visit Spencer Lee's on Facebook or Instagram for updates and website information. Thank you to sponsor Deadwood Live. Derek with Deadwood Live is producing top quality live edge products as well as bourbon themed furniture. If you've been in the lounge, you've seen the custom live edge table and barrel stools produced by Derek. Be sure to give him a like and follow on Facebook at Deadwood Live. That's D-E-D Wood Live. From concept to creation, Bother Visuals specializes in bringing your ideas to life. They'll turn ordinary moments into extraordinary stories. Bother Visuals is your one-stop shop for all things visual. Be sure to like and follow on all social media at Bother Visuals.
We'll just empty the clip there.
There you go. We also had Harris Hoosier Park.
Yeah.
Always happy to have Harris sponsoring us in Anderson, Indiana. Harris Hoosier Park Racing and Casino. They have live racing every night from Wednesday through Sunday, if I'm correct. They will be adding Tuesday in June 17th, and we will be out there on many Tuesdays. Make sure and check them out at, I think it's harrishoosierpark.com.
It is.
Some great races last night out there.
Was there?
Really close ones.
Oh, man. Yep, this train is way long, as most of them are. I thought it was one engine, but they decided to stick an engine in the middle.
In the middle.
Haven't seen that too often.
So here's what we're going to do. When we start going on Tuesdays next month, we're going to record this, finally.
Oh, good.
Because we haven't recorded it yet.
No, we need to record that.
So we need to update it and record it. What we're going to do is we're going to do a walk and talk. And that's going to be our ad. So
Okay.
It'll be all of us. Maybe we'll throw Gene in there. Maybe Jacob. I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet.
I like
But
it. I like what you're
I figured
thinking.
maybe it would be Jacob or Gene or somebody or one of us reading the sponsorship at Harrah's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watching racing.
I like it.
What better time to promote it than during a race?
I think that's fantastic.
Our updated ad will be with,
Less
our
train.
local counterparts and less train. So.
And I won't have to make it up on the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I killed this bottle, well, half a bottle of Balboa. I'm pouring, way heavier than I should have because I'm in a rocks class. But I didn't think about it. Jen's like, I'm going to bed. It's like, okay, I'll be in there in a minute. She's like, you realize you drank half a bottle of bourbon already, right? It's like, no way. You had some too. It's like, I had 4 ounces. You had the rest. It's like, shit.
Well, it's not a competition.
Yeah, I mean, I was charging against myself, but it was. I was so excited that day that they won that I couldn't go to sleep after that. So like I was just sitting out there drinking. And that was one of those days that I think I smoked like 5 cigars in 6 hours. Watching, I watched all the games that day.
Been there, done that.
And so, that's one of those times where like I'm not gonna grab the cream of the crop from my humidor, right? Like I'm gonna go for
Right.
Now I say this with a grain of salt because I say not the cream of the crop. I don't consider the McAuliffes that I like to be my celebratory sticks. Those are my everyday sticks.
Yeah.
Right.
So like those are the things I'm used to that I know I can taste. I pick it out. I don't celebrate with a red. I just smoke a red. So like I had 2 reds, had a purple, had a black.
Well, it's under
I had
$10,
an A.
so
yeah.
it's
So
like
I don't feel like what I'm chain smoking cigars that I definitely don't want to smoke like a knuckle sandwich back to back.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like I would either start or finish with that. But I'm never going to finish with a knuckle sandwich if I've had 3 before it.
Yeah, the
Like-
red has become the McAuliffe red has become my everyday smoke.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
So what about you, Hein?
I have a shit ton of boxes from Reds.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
yeah, I mean-
McAuliffe Red has pretty much become my everyday,
you
especially
could damn
garage
near
cigar.
build a wall.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm not running for president, but yeah. But I've found too that it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm like outside cooking on the grill, I want a cigar to enjoy, but I'm not going to be able to focus on the cigar. I'm going to be doing stuff, and
You're
I
gonna
might have to
smoke
set
it,
it
put it
down,
down,
or just puff on it here and there. I don't want a 57 for that moment.
Right.
I want my
God, I haven't
everyday
opened mine.
or my miscellaneous cigar to fill the time with to enjoy. But if when I'm finally done, everybody's ate, now you're gonna sit down, relax, and socialize, then comes the good cigar.
Yeah.
If I've got time to sit and enjoy it, that's when I'm bringing out my Warhead or my,
I feel like
Patron
the
or,
last couple years, May has been my experimental month for cigars because it's right after Derby City Cigar Bash, and
Yeah.
I always come home. I mean, you guys know, like I come
Yeah.
home with a lot
Oh,
of
yeah, I got a
samples
bunch.
and stuff that like you don't normally buy because we don't have a lot of those brands in this area.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times those reps bring in new release stuff. So you're getting it for the first time, or it's hitting the market for the first time. So like I consider May to be experimental time, because I have a lot of those that I've been gifted that I don't really care about.
Well, that probably works with PCA too. If you happen to get down to PCA and get
Oh,
a bunch
yeah,
of
for sure.
samples and
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
releases.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
Well,
to
even
that.
if you're not there,
all
you know that
May.
you're getting all the new releases at your local lounge or shop.
And that's usually what I'll do is like when I come home from work and I'll run out to the garage to unwind and have a cigar. I'll grab one of those I've never had before
Yeah.
because I'm on a fresh palate. I've been working all day down in water. You know, there's nothing to corrupt it. And I'm going to actually get the full body and the full flavor of that particular cigar unmasked and tainted by something else.
So do you smoke while you're mowing? Do you smoke a cigar while you're mowing?
No, because it's a zero turn.
Yeah, I
I've
was gonna
tried a couple
say-
times and it's just not very
I
functional.
was
You
gonna
need
say,
that
if you do
harmonica
it, you got to
holder.
teach me how to do it. 'Cause
Yeah, I know. That's why I did tell you about the zero turn. I said
Yeah.
you
Tam was
might
like,
want to
"No, I need
consider
that
getting
beer
just a
hand."
regular wheel."
I know.
But you went the zero turn,
cup
which is a
hole does
badass
kinda suck,
mower,
but-
so it's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that most of the time for me, price doesn't typically come into play when I'm choosing a cigar. It's
Just what you're
more-
feeling.
To me, the special cigars are availability issues.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
That's my cigars that I look at and I go, that's the one I'm going to wait for one reason or another. So you mentioned like the knuckle sandwich. Knuckle sandwich is, it's sub 20,
Yeah.
but just barely. And so it's a bit of a higher priced cigar. So I
But
don't
it's-
have them at the house a lot just because I'm not going to go out and buy,
Because you know you can come here and get
I
it.
can come here and get it anytime. But for me, availability is like the key thing because
See, that's how
if I really want a 57, then I want to be able to have one, you
Yeah,
know?
that's how I look at like the knuckle sandwich and then like the Warhead 10. They're roughly the exact same price, but I can't get the Warhead 10
Correct.
all the time. So
Yeah.
to me,
Exactly.
that one, even though they're the exact same price, I'm going to value that Warhead 10 higher to where I only want to smoke it when I have the time to enjoy it as
I haven't
opposed
even
to a
opened
knuckle
it.
sandwich.
Exactly. yeah.
I got my box of 57s. I haven't even opened yet. I
I
just
think
left
I've
them there.
smoked one out of it.
But like that, like I don't keep a lot of lower price cigars at home because I would rather smoke a higher price, more rare cigar, I guess, at home than I would here. Because like I don't want to stock up on nothing against you guys for like stocking up on the things that you like to keep at home. I live so close now that I don't want to fill my humidor up at home
Yeah.
and then not come here. I'm going
Right,
to spend the
right.
same amount whether I come here or not,
Well, that's-
with the
that's-
exception
That's
of
a great
alcohol.
call. That's a
That's
great-
so
that's
like
when you
yeah.
channel your inner Isaiah and just go to
Yeah.
the container store.
and then start adding
Get your
containers.
Tupperwares. And,
Yeah. But like I've always been that way. Like I want to go to the lounge and hang out. You know, we meet new people every day still. So
Yeah.
like I would rather come here.
So I hear what you're saying. I think the way I look at it is my humidor at home, if I don't have them stocked up with reds or 601s,
You're going to smoke the expensive stuff.
I'm going to smoke
yeah.
through all my 55s I've got left, all my 56s I've got left, all my 57s I've got left. Everything that I really want to save for when I can, like Will said, at the end of a night, kind of chill back and really enjoy and appreciate the cigar. I'm going to be, I got to run out. I don't have any reds. That's all I got. I'll be smoking a 55 and hotboxing it on the way down 65. And I don't want to do that.
I've had those. I feel like it helps me not smoke as much at home because I don't
That's-
want to smoke those.
Yeah.
But I have had those times where like I'm on the way to Louisville and the only thing I had was like my last knuckle sandwich
Yeah.
Maduro or my last 56. And I'm like, well, I guess this is what I'm doing. Or sometimes I'll stop by
Yeah, F it, I'm doing it,
Southside
yeah.
Cigar and I'll get some wild Espinosas that we don't have here. So, but I don't know. Like
Yeah,
anytime I can go somewhere, I want to go somewhere.
I do still keep, obviously I got like the Metros that I smoke in the morning. I've got those Candelas. I have bought a box of Reds and I will buy another box. I do keep some, that are more readily available. I got a box each of the Oliva, Milanio, was it the
O's.
I got just the actual Milanio Maduro and what's the other one? The Habano.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. So I got a box each of those, and those, they're a little bit more expensive, but they're also readily available.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't worry about those now. unfortunately, bad news. That might change. After all the hard work that went in to get the cap down to $1 on cigars, it did pass to make the max cap $3. It did go through with the budget bill.
Because it was wedged in between
It
everything else
was.
that needed
I
to
don't
be.
know what bastards on, whichever the House or whoever it is that's responsible for putting that bill together, but super, super frustrating. Lisa, you want to add in something here?
Give it to us.
It is the Indiana Chamber of Commerce who was a strong advocate for this.
Boo, commerce.
So
Sons of
that's
female dogs.
ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Not supporting small businesses. 23 cigar lounges in Indiana, which is a shocking amount. I didn't realize it was that high of a number because I go to states and there's 0.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can't smoke inside, like in the entire state.
Right.
But still, you're talking about 23 small businesses, right? I mean,
Big corporations.
right.
That are tobacco
Exactly.
reliant.
Yes, that's it.
And not
Yes.
cigarette and vape and all the other stuff
Yeah,
they're trying to go after.
I mean, if there's one thing that could be done in this country around tobacco that I think would make a huge difference, it would be a recognition of what premium cigars are.
yeah.
Because if premium cigars were put into their own group and were addressed completely separate from all the other tobacco products, then maybe this wouldn't happen in the future.
Well, I think maybe it should be a percentage. Like Louisville.
Well, it's a percent. It's just the
not the
cap
cost
is,
though. No. Like the percent of your sales.
Oh,
like that
gotcha.
should be who they are going after. Like if 99% of your sales are tobacco, then maybe it's
Yeah, there should be some
less.
distinction between like
But
low
if-
bobs versus.
yeah. If there's one,
beer.
Perky's has a tobacco license and they're selling
Right,
5%.
but they don't even have premium cigars
Right,
as a,
so,
as
like,
a
Yeah.
designation
tax them
yet,
differently.
so.
Yeah.
Don't tax this mom and pop shops that are reliant on this, that are obviously going to pay more than everyone else. Like it's got to level out somewhere.
And it's really weird because there is actually like I don't know if you call it a cabal or what, but there is like a cigar group that is across the aisle, both Republicans and Democrats, that they actually get together and smoke cigars and talk through political things, right? And it's like, come on, guys. I mean, get in there and have a voice.
Well, yeah, but then their cigars are a write-off because it's.
Right? It's all, we're paying for it.
What you're talking about is a cigar caucus.
Caucus. There you go. A caucus. I didn't think cabal was probably the right term. But,
The HERF.
it's politicians, so cabal might be right.
How did you not want to say caucus?
Caucus? Yeah, caucus.
The Grand Order of Water Buffalo.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fred Flintstone.
So anyway, if you have any influence, if you have any people that you talk to that are involved in state politics, let them know. Let
Egg
them
their
know.
house.
There will be
No, don't do that.
There will be a constant lobby going on. We know that there's some people. I know that there's at least one person down in southern Indiana that really wants to kind of head that whole thing
Yeah.
up for the state of Indiana.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
Vinny was the guy we
Vinny.
talked to.
Vinny. Okay,
At the office.
He's got a lounge that's opening up in Jeffersonville, right?
No, he works with the office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's
All right.
not the owner of the office, but Vinny was repping the office.
And where is the office?
I don't know what that county is. Near Hubers.
Okay.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. Yes.
You know where that is? I don't know the name of the county or anything, but it's near Hubers. It's like
Yeah,
the bottom of the
yeah.
hill in an A-frame house.
That's right, because we met a couple guys
Yeah.
that live up
So
in that area. and that's where
Marcus
they go.
is the guy you're
Yeah.
thinking of, the
Okay.
African gentleman. They're opening up the Bay Cigar Lounge
Yeah.
in New Albany.
There
Jeffersonville?
you go. I thought it was Jeffersonville.
It might be Jeffersonville.
it's Jeffersonville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were the guys sitting right
Yeah,
next
yeah.
to us.
Yeah, the fedoras and everything. So
So I
Yep.
just wanted to share one more little tidbit. I'm now on many mailing lists of a lot of the
Sure.
political people because I've emailed them. But this week, get my dates right, is Small Business Week in the
Yeah.
state of Indiana,
Small Business Week.
and they passed the legislation to
Squash that. Oh, that's great.
Wow.
How nice of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
I'm from the
appreciate
government, and I'm
you,
here to help.
Yep.
Thanks,
for
everyone.
I
restoring
did
our
get,
lack of faith in the government.
I did surprisingly like.
Oh, yeah.
Monday morning, I did get a phone call at like 8:30 in the morning. I'm driving to work, and it says Indiana State Legislature, and I answered it. And he's like, "Hey," and I apologize, I don't remember his name because he kind of called me off guard. He's like, "Hey, I got your email. I want to let you know we read it. We understand your concerns. We're going to take it to
Micah Beckenworth.
the House chair."
Good.
And so I don't think he would have called me and told me that if they weren't going to do it. So I do think they did it, but
They set it in his chair. He sat
Yeah.
on it and didn't look at it.
Look, I understand. One of the hardest things of being a politician has got to be the fact that you're setting laws around so many things that you don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Right.
When they say I didn't read the bill, it kind of pisses me off. But at the same time, like, there's a lot.
Somebody in your office could have read
Somebody
it and
could have read
summarized
it
it for you.
And it is up to us to be able to call our representatives, to send emails and say.
Otherwise, they just assume everything's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're going to
Yeah,
look at it and go, okay, nobody's upset about this, so it must be good to go.
I feel like at the risk of sounding ignorant, that most politicians are either worried about ruffling
Re-election?
feathers. They're either worried about ruffling feathers with making change or continuing to be a politician.
Yeah.
And you can either make waves and try to do change, or you can stay a politician.
Yeah, that's
Right? Like,
that's
it's
unfortunately that's typically the case.
Yeah,
Hashtag
I mean, like,
term limits.
you go in wanting to make change and it never happens.
I'm
for
with
the
you on
right
that,
side.
brother. I wish term
So-
limits were a thing, but
But
That could be the next debate.
yeah,
yeah, that's a big. Big
maybe we should have a debate one day. We'll have timers and everything.
Well, the problem is we all talk about most of this shit already, so we are.
That's true.
Most of us
We're
are on the
already
same page.
debating. Yeah.
We
would suck
agree
at
on
every-
most everything.
That's true.
Okay. One thing I do want to put out there: Cinco de Mayo is not Mexican Independence Day.
It is not.
Please quit saying it, people.
It is not.
It's an annual celebration on May 5th to celebrate Mexico's victory over the Second French Empire at the Battle of Puebla. It is not Mexican Independence
Which,
Day.
by the way, most of northern Mexico, if you're north of Mexico City,
doesn't give a shit
they
about
don't
it.
care about Cinco de Mayo at all.
Right.
No.
Pueblo is south of Mexico City.
You know when they do care? In America.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
When they
we're
see
all drunk
Modelo
buying
sell
tacos.
I want to
spiked-
do a
Just two
vacation.
for one marks.
There's two coastal towns, one on the Gulf side, Atlantic, I think, down there, and then one
the
on
Gulf
the
of
Pacific.
America?
So you got like Veracruz and I forget what the other town is, and Pueblo's in between. And I want to someday take like a 2-week vacation, fly down to Mexico City, rent a car, go to one coast, and then go through Puebla on Cinco de Mayo.
We need to rent motorcycles.
Oh man,
Sidecar.
I'm out on the motorcycle thing, man, especially in Mexico. Are you kidding me? I've driven to Mexico a lot. No, I wouldn't do a motorcycle at all.
Oh,
Not
have you
ever.
not seen the Harley
Oh,
Davidson?
God. Man, I'd die. I mean, seriously, I already spent
Adventure
enough
bike?
time in inpatient therapy.
Not
I
if
don't
you
need
had
more of
two
that.
sidecars.
One
Yeah,
on
one
each
on each
side.
side.
Yeah. Will's on one side, I'm on one, you're driving.
But yeah, I do think it'd be cool to go to that part of Mexico. Super coastal food, like it's not what people think of as Mexican food. Lots and lots of seafood down there.
Yeah, a lot
It's
of
not
rat.
beans and rice.
yeah, that's Mexico City.
Ratfish.
Ratfish.
Yeah, I'd fly into Mexico City and then get the hell out of there as quick as possible.
I've only
That's
been
not to knock
to
it.
Ceviche has a tail in it.
I've only been to Cozumel. That's it.
Which is awesome. It's beautiful there.
And it's touristy. Yeah, it's a
That's
touristy
more
place,
down towards
so-
Honduras and stuff, isn't it?
Sure. Don't
No,
ask me.
Cancun.
Best mole I ever
Oh,
had was
okay.
in Cozumel.
There you go.
Best ever.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
The
Moles.
trick is in Cozumel is to stay there on the island. Don't go in on a cruise. 5:30, 6 o'clock, cruise ships pull out. You got the whole island to yourself.
Yourself.
Yeah,
Yep.
Go
There's
wherever you
great
wanna
plants
go.
there. They have
And
really
it's
nice
incredibly safe.
flowering
So
plants.
Friendly and so just
Well, they patrol the water.
yeah.
Like, so that, if you're a Mexican citizen, like, you can't come
It's
to Cozumel
very
in the
low
evening.
crime on Cozumel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you see that Go Fast boat that breaks down on the right off the beach, you might
Yeah,
want to go
don't
get it.
swim to
Go
it.
get yourself some money.
Yeah.
Well, we got asked to leave the island because we swam past the buoys to the boat, and they don't like that.
They're not fans.
Swim
Yeah,
past
so-
the buoys to what boat?
The cruise ship.
Oh shit!
It's a bold strategy,
Yeah.
Cotton.
I mean, I was like 15.
We'll see how this pans out for him.
Yeah, not well. We got asked to leave.
yeah, it's
So,
about
Yeah.
120 feet deep right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not can't stand up.
I was a kid.
There's a lot of bitey fish out that deep
I
too.
did,
And you do realize, like, on cruise ships, the propellers aren't just in the back.
well,
Like, they're under the whole thing. That's
Oh,
why they
believe
can
me.
just do a 360 in the middle of the
There's
water.
currents, both. They're currents.
we
Yeah.
had to do
Yeah.
a whole safety seminar after that, so don't worry. I know now.
That was your punishment.
Only
It
you,
was,
Mike.
yeah. On a cruise ship, when we're supposed to be having a good time.
It's like
as
when they make
kids.
you go to a defensive driving class.
Yeah.
I haven't had to do that, but I did get in trouble when I was a kid for underage drinking. And they made me go to a class on drunk driving. I'm like, I
don't have a license.
15. I can't even drive. Like, I I got busted at a party for drinking. What's the big deal? And yeah, made me go to this whole, don't drive drunk thing. And I'm like, okay,
Good, I
was,
won't.
That was punishment enough. I'll just make sure
that training worked well.
right.
I got an
I mean-
unjustified pullover ticket one time, and they're like, "You're going to end up having to go to defensive driving school." I was like, "Well, can I take my stunt driving course certificate in, and will that count?" They're like, "Yeah, I don't think that's the same thing."
Stunt driving, defensive driving, two different things.
So I
It's all
got
car control.
I got enough speeding tickets one year. I had to take a defensive driving class, so I paid somebody to take it for me, and she had to call me every 20 minutes. And what's your social security number? What's your date of birth?
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the entities they represent.
I'm just gonna write all these down.
Well, it's funny you say that because, every time you get a mortgage, I mean, they sell your mortgage every so often, whatever. Well, the second week we moved, we get a phone call from the company New Res who bought our mortgage out. And I don't normally get phone calls. You don't normally get phone calls from they just send you a packet.
Send you a letter.
And that's it. And they're like, hey, we bought your mortgage. You don't need to do anything. Sign up. Here's a voucher, whatever.
Yeah.
I hadn't gotten that packet yet. I got this phone call, and for whatever reason, I answered it because I had called so many repairmen about the other house that I didn't know this number. So I answered it, and immediately this lady was asking me to verify my information, and I'm like, hold on. I should have just hung up, but I didn't. I went back and forth there for 45 minutes trying to verify who the fuck she
Who are
was.
you?
I
What's
remember
yours?
This, I remember you talking about this, man.
By-
This is hilarious.
By the end of it, I had her kids' names, their birth dates, all this stuff. I had her pulled up on social media and her job title and everything.
What color's your car?
Yeah. And it was her, and I went and checked the mail, and I had the packet. It got delivered that day. And I verified everything on the packet with everything that she said, and it was the mortgage company. And I kept asking her, I was like, you realize why I'm skeptical about this, right? It's nobody ever calls me and says that we bought your mortgage.
Yeah.
Nobody does that. Maybe don't do that. That's
They
weird.
just text you telling you about your tolls that you haven't paid.
Right, yeah. Don't click that link, by the way. But by the end of this conversation, I told this lady, and it was 10 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I hope this wasn't your first phone call. And if it was, I hope the rest of your day
Goes a lot
goes
smoother.
a lot better than this.
Yeah.
It's I'm sorry. You were very helpful. Thank you for dealing with
you
my
were
shit.
best friends.
We were best friends
Yeah.
by the end of it. But
Yeah.
So I'll text you on your birthday.
Yeah,
Right,
right.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they did to their DBA partner. So it's still under Patricia or whatever her name was. Because
Shout out Patricia.
yes, Dr. J said, but the punchline was at the end of that, I stole her identity.
It's a crop duster. Just
So
flew by.
she's paying my mortgage now.
Yeah.
All right, what are we moving to? What's this one? Savannah?
All right. This is the
Got put on the readers.
Savannah Single Barrel Founders Reserve. Handcrafted in Georgia, straight bourbon whiskey, the best of the low country, 108 proof, 5-year age statement. And producers of Georgia's first bourbon since Prohibition.
There we
We've been
go.
aging in our warehouses since 2012.
All right, so
So their own distillate,
It's their own distillate.
coming out of
It's
Georgia.
Good age to it.
Yeah.
Says
From Savannah,
we
presumably.
set aside for extra aging, crafted with selected corn, coastal rye, and pristine Blue Ridge Mountain spring water.
So what was the age statement?
5-year.
5-year?
Okay. I'm actually kind of excited about this. This ought to
Never
be interesting.
What else comes out of Georgia?
I love hearing when you got new states that are.
Is this
that
it?
are
Is this the only
producing.
thing that Georgia produces?
No. They're the other big
A
Georgia
discontinued
producer.
show about cars and rednecks
There's a
and
couple.
moonshine.
Well, 13th Colony's a big one, right? They're
Right.
in
That's Georgia. Yeah, yeah.
Just the good
Man, I
old
forgot about
boys.
that. That was another one that Logan introduced us to, was that 13th Colony.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I won that bottle. Damn it. They did a raffle. I forgot about that. I never went and got it.
Oh,
Man. I had to
bad
drive there to
news.
get it. So
man.
it was like you got to pick it up from us.
All right.
Yeah, what a bummer.
Oh, I like the nose on this one.
Oh. Well, we're killing our final third here. I know Will's busted out the other one, but we'll get into that in a second.
Here you go.
Oh, look, here's a new sign into YouTube.
Oh man,
Someone's trying to steal my identity,
How about that?
a lot of citrus.
which I did have 2 people fraudulently charge things to my business account this week.
All right.
Way to go, Patricia.
Yeah.
I was expecting. Honestly, I was expecting this to be grainy.
I was
Like-
thinking the same thing.
It's not.
This is a cool bottle, though.
It's a space saver bottle.
It is. Yeah, it's just not good on a shelf because it's so
Yeah,
tall.
it's so tall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the state of Georgia? On the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got
it
the-
says Savannah.
You want to try it?
no, I'm good.
You good?
Cleanse the palate.
It's got a hint of grain, but it's not
Nose seems really sharp to me.
citrus. Citrus.
I was gonna say, but the fruit stands out, even though it's got a little bit of a grain to it.
Peaches and oranges down there.
Moving to the country, gonna buy me a
Which I
lot
wonder
of
if they're doing
trees.
open fermentation. I mean, most do, right? I
Yeah.
mean, most places don't bother to close off for fermentation when they're going to distill. I wonder, just the air down there, how much pollen and stuff you got just kind of floating around. If that kind of makes a
Wow.
difference.
Less corn sweat there.
True.
Very
true.
fruity.
They don't need the corn sweat. It's already
It's
freaking
already sweaty.
100%
Everything's already
humidity
sweaty.
Not a lot
all
of
the time.
finish to it. Like finish
No,
kind of
it's
falls
short,
off.
yeah.
But
It does have that oily quality though that still stays on your mouth, kind of mouth watering,
Yeah.
even though the finish dissipates.
Man, this falls in that category of meh.
Yeah,
It's more of a capital meh.
Yeah, it's
Capital
like
M.
with an exclamation point.
yeah.
It's not. It's good. Dr. J,
Dr. J, you just got to go get a Glen.
go get a Glen.
It's like that ping pong movie. The guy's like, eh.
It's one of those that I could drink this for sure.
Oh yeah.
But it's just a whiskey. It's not. There's not a lot of special in there.
But, that's
Quick finish.
when somebody is still making whiskey that you can even go meh compared to what you normally drink.
Yeah, unless you're
You're like, this.
I don't hate this.
has opportunities for growth and improvement.
it's pretty light for a 5-year too, though.
What was it? 108.
108 proof.
108.
Definitely
And it-
doesn't drink
it-
over
No.
100.
I felt like it was 108 was.
I feel like the
appropriate.
nose seems like it's spicier than that.
Yeah. I think the nose hits you harder
It's
than
a
the palate
rye.
does.
It's a rye, right?
no, it's a bourbon.
No, it's
a
bourbon.
I thought you said rye. There's rye. What's the rye in it?
There's not a mash. The mash bill's
Oh.
not.
Yeah, it didn't
don't
have
think it
a
listed one.
count on it. You want to cap that?
Man, I could totally
Wait,
see
no,
this
Dr.
being
J.
heavier
Oh,
on the
Dr.
rye.
J.
I got
Olives.
one already.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
So, Will, are you saying you've not done a double blind on this one before?
Will has not
I
done a
have
double
not.
blind on this.
We still need to do our double blind episode.
We'll get back to that this summer. We'll get into it.
We got a number of episodes to do. We
Oh,
still want
man.
to do a fishing show.
Yep.
We need to do that. Hold on. While I'm thinking about it, you guys talk amongst yourself. I need to message Nicole because this year's episode of Carb Day is going to be sponsored by West Fork again.
Hey, so
And
now
I
we're
need
getting
to
some whiskey.
Yeah, I need to link up with her.
Awesome.
All right, well-
good deal.
I'll go ahead and do the events for this month
Do it,
then.
do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
First and foremost, Final Third is closed tomorrow.
Mother's Day.
For
Happy
Mother's
Mother's
Day.
Day, everybody.
So shout out
Happy
to your
Mother's
mothers.
Day to all the mothers.
You got to drink with your mom instead of coming here.
And
Should we-
smoke with her.
Should
Yep.
we call my mom? Do you want to call her?
No.
Okay. Thanks for convincing me.
And then
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
So Friday, May 16th from 6 to 9, we have the HVC Meet the Maker. We've got, isn't it Rainier Lorenzo?
Yes, Rainier.
He's going to be here, so you actually get to meet the man. And then May 28th from 5 to 8 is the Espinoza Cut and Light event. Jack Toronto, the president, and Tyler Jones are going to be here. If you haven't met Tyler,
He's
get
great.
here and meet
Cool
Tyler.
dude.
He's a great
Yep.
dude. We
Tyler's
just saw
good
him in Louisville.
Yeah.
And then May 31st, Saturday from 7 to 10, live music out here on the Cigar Garden.
I'm bummed we won't be here for that one.
And then June 7th,
What day
Mash
is
Bash.
the
Mash
the
Bash.
live music?
Saturday.
31st
Of May?
Yep.
of May.
I think I'll still be in town.
We'll be in, Jen and I will be in Greentown for Borble event. You know what a Borble is?
I have no idea.
It's a doggo.
A what?
A dog. It's a
Dog.
popo.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
it's a breed of dog. There's a Borble Expo.
Okay.
It's this big, like Newfoundland looking dog.
How do you spell that?
Boerbl.
B-I...
N-G-O-B. Borbel. B-O-E-R-B-E-L, I believe.
Just
Big
Google
dogs.
it, folks.
Yeah.
Don't listen to us. Just Google it.
So like Mastiffy looking, kind of like what Luna is, Chris's dog. Kind of looks like her, but not a Mastiff. So I have to believe it's some sort of descendant of Mastiff. I don't know. Maybe the Mastiffs are descendants of the Borbels. I don't know. But they're cool dogs. But they do an expo, Greentown, and we got invited to do that. So I know we played the Spencer Lee's sponsorship. We have quite a few events coming up. That's our first one of the summer. Then we'll be at Mash Bash. We'll have some treats. Got some, just restocked the lounge, restocked Metazoa.
There will be 3 of you at Mash Bash.
There will be 3
Yep.
of us.
Breeden
You will
and
not
I
be
are
there.
out.
Hey, we need to get, can we use your internet again? Are you taking
Your
it with you?
Wi-Fi box.
I've got 2.
Okay.
now.
Can we use one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hope so.
Because I was thinking about that. That's what we used last year. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Jen's going to get her tattoo because we were supposed
Probably
to go
take
that day.
the T-Mobile one.
Okay. Whatever.
And-
Yeah.
Verizon's been a bag of dicks.
And
That's
Lisa's going with her.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Lisa and Jen are going to get tattoos, and we're going to live stream from Mash Bash. So
I will make
where are you
sure
going?
and
Oh, you're
record-
going to UFC.
I'm going to UFC 316,
That's what it
baby.
is.
Shout out 25th.
Nice.
If you pay
Yeah.
attention.
Happy
at,
anniversary, by the way.
What would be? Thank you. Appreciate that.
We'll shout it out that week, but
We'll
Yep.
look for you in the cage,
yeah. Look for me.
the octagon.
I mean, we
every
have to
time-
watch it.
Every time they have the Challenger coming out, Janelle and I will be on the 5th row, right next to
On the wall.
Challenger tunnel.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Right next to Trump and the Secret Service.
Exactly. Actually, it's kind of the crazy thing is I'm really curious, like how many famous people we have the opportunity to.
It's in Newark, right?
It's in Newark, so I mean, right across the
Right
river
from-
from the
Oh,
city.
There'll be people there. yeah.
Holy shit, that was close. That looks like it didn't actually get on any equipment.
didn't.
Sorry, I was focused on
Look at this. Take a picture of that. Don't move it. Take a picture
I was
real
focused
quick,
on
man.
the spider that was hanging in front of my face.
You might not be able to see this on the camera, but
can.
that was total
Yeah,
luck
it's right
right,
here.
there. Wow.
Yeah, it's in frame.
That was incredible. Yeah.
right in the power cord.
We're good. Nothing
Yeah.
got.
It's a
nothing got
surge
splashed.
protector.
It's good that Mikey drinks fast.
Yeah.
I've been drinking
not that much
since
in there.
since 9:30 this morning, so I've already had half a bottle
my
of
coffee.
champagne and a screwdriver.
Well, we killed
Yeah,
our.
We were ready to fix things.
Dude, I'm ready to go. I'm tuned up, and I'm like, I'm just gonna have to keep going. I'm gonna go home. I gotta go shop for some groceries, because I never know who's gonna show up, and so we always serve food at the house for the UFC events. So I gotta get some food and then be ready to go for tonight, man. 6:30 prelim start.
Well,
Early
depending on how we
prelims.
feel after the race, we may swing by.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, it'll be short, right? I mean, it's about a 2-hour race.
It's only, 200 laps?
No, it's like
Or
200
150.
miles. Like it's 100 laps.
it was
Yeah.
Jen logging in on the TV.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so it's 2.5 mile. So it might be 250.
Well, the
miles.
road course isn't 2.5.
Yeah, it's like I thought it was 2.5.
I thought it was shorter. I thought it was only 2.
No, I think it's 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure it's
Again,
2.5.
Google it. Don't listen to us.
Right. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
But yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we're gonna
it's,
be out there.
I think it's 2.5 and probably 100 laps, something like that. Might be even like 70 or 80. Yeah,
We
it
got
doesn't- it
6
doesn't start
together,
till-
right? Like
huh?
we're all together.
We can be.
Okay.
and
It's kind of like the Brickyard. It doesn't
Doesn't
fill
matter.
up.
We just
no,
okay.
you'll be able to move.
Yeah.
I mean, we
There'll
had
be open spots.
I think
but yeah.
2 years ago we had seats in J stand, which like for the race J stand, like for the 500, J stand. I mean, it's always sold out, but it's not considered like a premier seat.
Yeah.
Right. You can see down the front stretch,
Love
but it's on the outside. It's kind of a shorter stand, so you
The
can't
sun
get
is
real
to your
high.
back.
No, because the race
Oh,
starts at noon,
noon,
so
yeah.
you're just in the sun
Yeah,
all
this one starts
day.
at 4:30, and I think we're just out of turn 4, heading into the front stretch.
So
you
that's,
can
that's
see
basically you're either
all
in
the way down,
Yeah.
all the way down into turn 1, and you can see coming into 3. So you only miss.
So the great thing is you're going to see the first turn,
Yeah.
right? You're going to see turns like 1
1,
through
2,
4.
3, and 4, maybe
going into
part
the
of
back
5
stretch.
into
Yeah.
the tunnel run.
I'll take your word for it.
It's awesome because on a road course, turn 1 is on the opening lap is nuts.
Yep.
Like you're looking at this and you're watching, 26 cars, I think is what they run in Indy just for the regular season, right? It's 33 at the 500. I'm pretty sure it's 26 is the limit that they put on it for the season. 26 cars, all trying to dive for that first spot.
And that
it's-
first turn is narrow.
It is.
It's not-
super narrow. It's 2 cars.
It's not
You
4 or
can
5
go
cars
2.
wide like you
Yeah,
can
if they're
on the
going
track.
3, which they will try and
They'll
go
try it,
3,
yeah.
and
Somebody
somebody
will
will end
end
up
up
in
in
the
the
grass for sure. Somebody will hit the runoff, but it's wild, man. If you're J stand, you are right there. And even in J stand, like we were able to move up. Like we got halfway up. I think the tickets were, I don't know, $65, $70, and we moved up like another 10 rows towards the top with no problem because it's. Most people, if you've never been to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, they just don't understand how big it is.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you're at Talladega or Daytona and you see those huge stands, they're on one side.
Yeah.
They're right there at the start-finish line. And, that's it. There is no stands on the corners. There's no stands on the back. That's where they put all the campers at those tracks. At Indy, it is stands around almost the entire damn thing.
Outside of the backstretch,
And it's
all stands. And then there's
crazy.
stands on the inside.
Yeah.
All the way down pit road.
It's over 235,000 seats. Just for the stands, right? I'm not even sure if that counts all the suites that they have. And then
There's
you
a
add
lot.
the infield to that. They're saying this year it could be a sellout.
I think they were already.
They were under
proclaiming
10,000 seats left in the stands 2 weeks ago.
You know what's going to make this better is that there's still a scenario that the Pacers will play at home on race day,
Yep, which has happened before.
which has happened.
It's been a while.
It was an 8 p.m. game, so
Yep,
I'm
and you'll
assuming
see
it will
there's
be a
like
late
this
game, so-
crazy traffic where people are trying to figure out because they tell you where you're going.
yeah.
Right, so if you're over there on like the west side of the track, you're going to 465 on the west side.
Whether you want to
So
or not.
there is no option. So your option is to go north to 65 and then come back downtown, or south to 70 and come back downtown. You can't go downtown from the track if you're on the west side.
Yeah, you can't just cut down Crawfordsville Road and end up downtown.
No, the only way you can do is if you're in the north 40 or if you're on the south side of the track, then you can go into downtown because they make you go to downtown.
So
Like,
a
that's
couple
how you
things.
go.
Scotty's finishing up his final third, so close us out on that one. Give us your. I know you kind of did a little bit already, but close us out on that.
So the pepper is just through the roof
Yep.
at the end of this. It goes to that absolute medium full. Very much. I would actually say that when you get to the final third of this, it is a full. Right.
Had a
It's-
much spicier retro.
Yeah, the retro will bring tears to your eyes. It's
Put
really
hair on your
really up
chest.
there. Yep, but it's great, and you get so much of that the coffee, like that black coffee, real aggressive coffee flavor. I think the nut that they talk about, the nuttiness, is in the middle. It goes
In the
away.
second-
It's
yeah.
completely washed out by the final third.
And the thing I like about the Rojas Street Tacos, that one specifically, is that out of all the whiskeys that we had today, it held up to all of them, and it brought out different qualities of the cigar
Yeah.
with each whiskey that we had.
Hell, it even worked
and
with a
that's-
cucumber sandwich.
Yeah, and that's great. I love that. I like to be able to have the option to have multiple pours with different profiles from different regions with a cigar.
The crazy
One
thing
cigar.
is, I'd love to have like, we got at Hacienda, we had that ceviche last time we were there. I just ate that with chips. Like you could smoke this cigar and have chips and ceviche, and then move into some like
It's good
Mexican
citrus,
street tacos,
yeah.
and have that for the middle to the back half.
Oh, yeah.
Finish out. I think this would absolutely work with the Jose Cuervo Reserva de la Familia is here at the lounge.
Ooh, that'd be a good one, yeah.
And you could finish out, and it would hold up well with this cigar, even at the tail end.
So our second one, we're getting into the Flor de Oliva, the
Yep.
gold. So, Heine, tell us what this one is.
This one is made by Oliva out of Esteli, Nicaragua. Silky blonde Ecuador, Connecticut wrapper with what they call a mellow interior, well-aged Nicaraguan long filler.
I'm smoking something different.
And Scotty's smoking something different because he got a special cigar
Yep.
I did. Thank you to
Shout out Josh.
Josh,
at Louisville Cigar
Louisville
Company.
Cigar gave me a Kentucky Fire Cured
Cool.
Batch one.
batch one from 2017.
Get a
And,
close up of that cellophane.
Yeah, so Doc, you were talking about this on our text group about the yellowed cellophane, and I guess some companies will like deliberately do things to make it yellowed to make it seem like there's more to it.
That one is not the case.
This is not the case. This is what happens when you let a cigar sit in your humidor and age. The cellophane is going to turn yellow from the tobacco, and it absolutely is one of those things where you know that this has had extra time to just sit.
If you ever question plume versus mold,
Yeah, so
look at what Josh has in his aged cigars.
Yeah.
That is 100% plume.
I was concerned when you look at this. It looks like what people would call plume. Okay, when it's on your cigar, I pulled out the cigar. There is nothing
on it. Yeah.
There is nothing on the cigar. If it's on the cigar, if you can't just brush it off, it's mold. Now, that doesn't mean it's not smokable. Okay, want to clarify this. Mold inside of a cigar can absolutely cause some problems for you. Right? That is not good.
Mold,
it means
it's like
that
protein.
you've been over humidified and you've actually had mold that has grown, in it. Yep, proper humidity does matter. At the very least, I would say in most cases you can resurrect most cigars from being under humidified.
Yeah, but
if you go over
is a little different.
humidified, my humidifier, I was talking about this before the show, my humidifier at home right now is showing 55%. But the cigars are smoking perfectly. I'm not going to mess with it. I checked. I made sure. Do I have, because I've got the thing that you put the juice in.
Yeah.
Where they seem like crystals, and then they turn into basically gel when you add your liquid to it. And it's fine. It's in there. Everything's doing what it's supposed to do. It says 55%. If you want to talk to a scientist, Doc is
He's
over
over
there. You can find him when here at the Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge.
Sometimes.
And you can talk to him about it. Doc knows a lot, and he's a scientist, like a legit scientist, and he'll give you the details. 1 second here for our friends from CSX.
Building America.
That's right. So
Automotive haulers.
Doc will tell you all you want to know about humidity. He'll talk about it all day long. The important thing is don't over humidify. If you pull your cigar out and you can't brush off the white powder on the outside, I'd be very leery of smoking it.
Yep.
So plume shows aging, right? Plume shows the proper aging.
I don't
It's
even
the
like
oils
the
coming
term
out.
plume because it's just call it whatever comes out of the cigar or is in the
That's just the
package.
oils.
For me.
Pixie
That's
dust.
the oils. Yeah.
Pixie dust.
Pixie dust.
Whatever. If it brushes off, you're
New-
fine.
new
If
term,
it doesn't
pixie
brush
dust.
off, I'm sorry. Don't smoke those cigars.
Yeah.
Right? And it sucks.
Just wipe them down with bleach.
It's happened to lots of people where don't do that either. That's also a
bleach
terrible
tipped.
idea.
It's a bleach
idea.
tip.
But yeah, this one obviously came out perfect. I'm really looking forward to it.
Nice.
So on the Florida Oliva, did anybody else? I don't know if anybody cold drawed it.
I did.
Did you get cedar?
I was gonna say cedar and a little bit of dirty hay,
I kind of got a nutty
grassy
cedar.
hay.
real
Yeah.
barnyardy, real little bit of cedar. I see what you're saying on that. Yeah, sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good cold draw. It is light. This is listed as a mild cigar because of the Connecticut wrapper. So
Okay, mine is barbecue.
Yeah.
Straight.
I gotta be honest, I was ready to pitch this shit, but it's getting better.
Okay.
Much better.
All right.
So
I'll give it a chance.
Give it a chance. I did not like it the first couple.
That's Will's sales pitch. I was getting ready to pitch this shit.
No, I'm saying it's getting much better.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. Yeah, put it that way.
we'll
And
give
this,
it.
this Savannah bourbon.
That's good.
This is a citrus bomb, man.
Yeah.
With a little bit of mint on the finish. It's kind of crazy.
That was good. That was really good.
Yeah. I am not disappointed.
That's a good find. Where'd you pick that up at? Savannah?
Savannah.
Savannah?
In the
Nice.
airport. They have
Oh, cool.
They have a cool little boutique liquor store in the airport, and they have all these little craft whiskeys in there that are single barrels, and there's some from Hilton Head, there's some from Charleston, there's some from Savannah.
So I've not
Yeah.
been. I've not been to Savannah. Been to Georgia many times, just not Savannah. Jen's
Savannah's
gone with her
great.
friends.
It's awesome.
You know, I hear that it's a great place to visit, touristy place.
I've been sober
Not
very
super
little
dog
in
friendly.
Savannah.
Oh,
But I
shit.
like
It's-
that.
Per capita, it is the highest number of alcoholics in the country.
Probably because there's nothing else to do.
There's a base there.
It's the second highest Augusta.
Yeah, I think it's a naval base that's there. So
There
they
is,
drink a lot.
Largest
So-
St. Patrick's Day party
Oh,
in the U.S.
Better
maybe
than
outside
Chicago?
New York or Chicago. It's
Oh,
pretty big.
man.
Just because they dump green in the river doesn't mean it's the biggest party.
bro.
No, it's a huge. Well, I'll say it's like a huge
Shots fired.
college party scene for St. Patrick's Day.
Savannah?
Yeah.
I haven't been. So.
It's a cool town. Man.
I know my daughter loves the
Haven't
Hilton
been.
Head
A lot of
area.
great
That's her
breweries
favorite
there.
spot.
Oh man.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
food.
I feel like we need to do more brewery things at some point.
Yeah.
Locally, nationally, I feel like we need to revisit some of the brewery items. and just kind of see what's going on. Because as you know, we talked about it last year a little bit. You have some of these head brewers that are going to the whiskey world as master distillers.
Coming out of the wine world and going into master
Right. So I'm
distillery
curious
and
to
everything,
see, let's go full circle and go back to the breweries and see how places like Sam Adams are progressing with new breweries and, you know, what are they doing? Are they doing different things, or are they just following recipe cards? Like, is things changing? What's the Mexican hot chocolate? Who makes that one? PAX.
PAX does, yeah.
So PAX has some great new things coming out. You know, re-release of things that they've had previously. The one that I had the other day was the Mexican hot chocolate. Tastes like the Mexican shortbread cookies. It's amazing. So good.
You bring up a good question.
Let's do it.
So my question is, I'll pose this to each of you. Is there more innovation currently in bourbon or in craft beer?
I don't know if I could answer that because I don't follow the beer world as much. I feel like there's been a pivot with beer.
What's your perception, though?
My perception would be no.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's always going to be those craft brewers or microbreweries that are always focused on flavored soured stouts and pilsners. And there's always going to be those places like Two Toms or PAX in every state that are going to try those off-the-cuff flavors, you know, s'mores.
Yeah, I think beer is
like
100% going to be more
there's
innovative.
way more
Really? Okay.
beer.
Yeah.
There's way more breweries,
Than there
independent
are
breweries, than there are
than
independent distilleries.
Well, I think that there's.
So I think just in numbers wise, I think you're always going to have more on the beer side.
I don't know if they're more innovative, though. Coming
I
from
think that they
the
are.
experimental side.
I agree with you, Mike.
I see. I
you
think like
distilleries?
from
By-
an
by-
innovation
and I'll
perspective.
say not by a large margin, but by a small margin, yes.
Well,
Because
you have to look
think
at it.
about- Well, I'll point to hazies, right? Everybody made it same damn hazy. Exactly.
Sorry.
And there's maybe out of every hazy that we've tried, like maybe one or two of them were pretty good. Most of them are not even palatable, in my opinion.
Every
Because
la-
they're
lazy hazy.
It's lazy hazy. Look,
Yep.
there's from what I understand, and I have not done this myself, but from what I understand, there's kind of two like ways to do this hazy thing. It's the right way, and then the way most people do it. And the way that most people do it is they just don't clean their beer.
Yeah.
They just don't filter it.
Don't
they don't
cold
cold
filter,
crash
yeah.
it. They don't do anything, right? And
That's
they're
fair.
just basically leaving yeasty shit in their beer.
I don't want to chew my beer.
No, I don't want to either. If you're going to make a proper hazy, then there's some techniques, from what I understand, to be able to make it where you're leaving some elements in there even after you filter. You're not going to filter aggressively, right? But you can still cold crash and still have a hazy color to it. And whether that's malt selection or fermentation processes or even some of your finishing processes, right? Maybe you leave it for 2 days at a cold crash instead of leaving it for a week. There's ways to get that haze in there and not have it just be a bunch of shitty yeast that's floating around in your beer.
Well, there's a difference too between a hazy color and sediment.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's why I say that is because I feel like beers were doing experimental things long before whiskey and bourbon was. In that, like, the experimental early on, post-prohibition, there wasn't a lot of these flavored products. And now you're getting those finished and flavored whiskeys where the beer industry got into that long before whiskey, right? I mean,
Yeah.
That's where I would put it. I would say that there's more room for innovation in distilling.
sure.
I don't think that there is more innovation right now. I think beer takes the cake on innovating, but I think that there is room for
just
innovation.
a different ceiling.
Well, I think there's
And
a lot.
I'm try not to like cream in your pants or anything, Doc, but Chattanooga is probably one of those that I look at that is doing
That's nailing
heavy
the
innovation.
experimental
Setting it up,
Right?
stuff,
They're
yeah.
doing 25% specialty malts as a requirement in all of their whiskeys.
That's nuts.
That is crazy. Like most people just do the malted barley, they're going to put 4 to 6% in. And a lot of that has to do with just helping with the fermentation process.
But then you start to see that from other distilleries like New Riff that are doing biscuit malts and heirloom grains, and
Right, they're starting to embrace it, right?
and other people are kind of catching on
That's
to
why
that.
I mean, I think there's more room for it in
Right.
distilling. But if you're asking me right now who's doing the most innovation, I still think it's beer.
Still think it's beer.
Yeah. Now, ask me again in 24 months,
But-
it might be a different story.
But the bourbon crash is over.
It's the
Right, the boom.
The
the
boom's
boom is
over,
over.
so it's
right?
not gonna
It's
not
over.
gonna go anywhere.
Nah,
It's gonna die.
I think as much as anything that opens the door for
Yeah.
more innovation because people were just trying, and you've got a time issue with distilling
The
versus beer.
aging.
There is no aging
Well, I think
in
that's
beer.
why
I
the
mean, you're
experimental
6 weeks max, right?
The experimental aspect of beer is much easier because it's
It's
done
immediate.
right away.
Yes,
And
exactly.
if it's not good, you can scrap it and go on to something else.
I mean, imagine trying to.
as opposed to having to let it age for eight.
Yeah, you got
8
something that's
years
been
or
there for
whatever.
8 years, and suddenly you're like, let's finish this in Southern Pine barrels. Don't do that. That would be disgusting.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, as an example, right? You're going to take
we
something
fucked
that you already
up.
got 8 years, and you're like, oh fuck, we're hosed here, right?
It's a redwood stave barrel.
I don't know. You're in the distillation world way
I
more than probably
think
any of
that-
us.
The risk reward for innovation is definitely, there's a bigger risk with whiskey, right?
Oh, I think it's exponential, especially just in the aging process alone.
You should be able to play around more with beer. I mean,
Yeah.
experiment a lot more with it. I just think that at this stage of the game in the whiskey business in the U.S., you got to take risks now if you're going to stand out.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
gotta-
look, nobody's throwing Oreos in a batch of whiskey saying this is going to be the Oreo batch, right?
Not
Like,
yet.
Not yet.
But that's the shit that they're doing with some of these beers. Like,
Yeah.
they're literally throwing cookies in there, throwing wedding cookies in a batch.
Pastry stouts now.
Yeah. It's craziness,
Or a pastry beer is now a category.
but they're so good.
There's another train coming,
So
but it's at a
apparently
dead
the
stop.
train stopped. He must be coming in to grab a cigar.
Well, he came in really, really like
grabbing
close
a
behind that last one.
tenderloin
So.
across the street.
Oh yeah.
he's a
Like,
quick
oh, they've
run
got
out.
they've got a slide.
Somebody run up there and grab me some
All right,
food.
we gotta. I know you kind of stopped over here, but
Sorry.
I'm empty.
Yeah,
He's
let's-
over here
let's do
screaming
it.
about a
What are we
cigar.
going with?
What are we going? You want to do the Mictors now?
Let's do the Mictors now. Let's do the Mictors. This is a good one.
Yeah, I was looking at my shelf this morning and knowing that, Rob wasn't going to be here and, just kind of brought some bottles in. And so I brought this. We bought this at the distillery. Got this one in the rye. I'm not going to apologize for not bringing the rye. It's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
I love the bourbon. The
I love you
bourbon's
guys, but not that
fantastic. Hey, I brought it in when we first got it, and we tasted it, I don't know, 2 months ago or something.
Oh yeah.
And we had this one as well. I would tell you that I've heard a lot from people that have been to Michter's that they're releasing more of this in the distillery. It sounds like
Yeah.
it's legitimately kind of hitting the market.
Oh, we
This
get
guy's
it.
going to be blowing his whistle for a
You're a
long
train.
ass time.
You're a train. We
He's
get
just
it.
he's slow rolling. This is great.
It's gonna be
Um,
10
We
more
should take him a
times.
whiskey.
Right, we're going to at least
Yeah.
do 10 more whistle blows because he's got another crossing up here.
We'll just use that as censorship.
Man. So this one is the Michter's Barrel Strength Bourbon,
Yes.
108 proof. This is fantastic.
I love
This was the 24 release.
they do their entry points at like barely over 100 proof.
Yeah, I think it's like 105.
Yeah, I think 105 is where they blend to. And their thing that they say is, we want you to taste
What
the
a dick.
bourbon, right? Like the whiskey. We don't want you to taste our water. And so they put it in at 105 and
Cheers.
and basically get it down to that element. So they may be still distilling at like 125 or higher, but goes into the barrel at 105 to get more barrel
Yeah,
flavor.
it's pre, not post.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, I agree, Will. I think it's got better towards the second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It did.
definitely. Yeah.
It's not spicy. It is still mild, but the flavors have changed. It went way less hay and more. I mean, it's still earthy, but it's
get-
that floralness.
I get cashew out of it.
Cashew.
I thought it was earthy at first, and then the more I've smoked it and just let it sit and retroed it, I almost get that little hint of cedar is still there.
I love Caesar.
Yeah. Caesar salad.
That's good.
But the that it still just kind of hits me as cashew.
So, I don't know a ton about these
Tell me.
Kentucky Fire Cured. Are these the ones that have some American tobacco in it?
Oh, I'd have to look it up. I'm going to look it up. I don't know because I don't smoke those. I don't know if I've ever smoked a Kentucky Fire Cured.
So first thing I'll say is I like it. I've heard some varying opinions on it. I've heard some people absolutely do not like it. It is not their thing at all.
Yes. Kentucky and Virginia.
Kentucky and Virginia. So this is 100% American tobacco?
No.
I didn't think so. I almost want something to bring a hint of sweetness. I don't know if maybe they could, make an adjustment on the wrapper. But it's really good. And I've heard people say it's a barbecue
Sandwich.
kind of thing there. It's fantastic. I really, really like it.
Anybody want a sandwich?
Pass.
That's-
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, we've talked a little bit about, is there room for American tobacco in cigars? Look, I get the expense associated with it. It's a lot of manpower. So, you look at things that are done by manpower in the U.S. and lots of times it's our first gen immigrants that are coming in that are working, in kitchens, doing dishwashing and
Those are
line cooks.
Nicaraguan and Brazilian long filler,
Okay. All right.
but also has Kentucky and Virginia Fire Cured.
I think that there's absolutely room. And you want to talk about innovation? I mean, Americans will figure it out, right? They'll figure out if there's a way to make money on it, they'll do it. And I absolutely think that there's room for American tobacco in cigars. There's a long history of American tobacco in our country. Unfortunately, it is a minuscule market now that got solely focused on cigarettes.
Yeah, I mean,
And
look at Kentucky. I mean, Kentucky was a tobacco state before it was a
it's-
bourbon
was
state.
ever
It's
bourbon,
not
yeah. Yeah, I
in
mean-
anymore, right?
Yeah, no, I mean-
you can probably count on two hands the number of tobacco farms that
Yeah.
are left in Kentucky.
There's still some, but it's not as prevalent.
No, you just don't see it.
Yeah.
But I do think that there is absolutely room.
Shit, we lived next to one when we lived in Kentucky. We were next to a tobacco farm that kind of ceased operation. But yeah, I mean,
And this is totally
what do you think?
smokable.
How's it giving you?
It's great. I mean, look, it's the fire cured's on point. I said barbecue, also campfire. Is this something I want to smoke on a warm day like today? Maybe not, but in the fall,
I was gonna say fall
yeah,
campfire.
when it's fall around the campfire, like this is gonna be perfect.
Eat
Yeah.
a couple s'mores,
S'moresy
and then
notes.
fire up.
Yep,
fire it up.
and maybe at that point I get like some s'mores or something to bring a little sweetness to it.
So
I mean,
you'll-
man, that sweet fire, when you're thinking like barbecue and you get like just dry rub and no sauce, and you get some pecan wood or some apple wood, where it brings more sweetness to the smoked meat. That's
Yeah.
what kind of gives you that nice balance there. So maybe some sort of food with this. I could actually see this with chili.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you remember, we did the chili
Yeah, your
cook-off,
spicy chili.
and it was like we were like, man, none of us ever thought about food and cigars much because it just never seemed to work. But chili
Yeah.
around a campfire with this, 100%.
Well, what you're describing, I would say like pulled pork
Oh,
comes to mind too.
easy.
Like, yeah.
And I would actually love like the vinegar
Yeah.
because it would cut through, because this has kind of got a richness to it with that campfire element.
In the description, it said a very oily Maduro wrapper. So I wonder how much of that they cure into the wrapper
Yeah.
to maintain that oil level to help maintain almost that smoky, almost to lock in that
You
fire
ever have like
flavor.
a fire that gets down to where it's nothing but coals, and you throw that, you're like, I want to stick around the fire for like
That
another
one
half an
last
hour.
log.
I'm gonna put that one last log on there, and it just brings out that, like, you get a good piece of oak or something,
Yeah.
and the smell is just awesome. That's what I get out of this. And so some vinegar, some sweet, something to kind of add to it.
Yeah.
I totally get the
Well,
oily
they-
nature of it.
They have a smaller, almost cigarillo style of that is very sweet. And I don't know if they add something to it or flavor it or anything like that, but that's the one I had before that I didn't care for.
Well, I'd like to smoke one that's brand new, that just got shipped in the box. I don't have anything to compare it to.
Did you not get one at?
No, I didn't.
Cigar Bash?
No, I did not.
Because there was one in the pack.
Okay, so I probably did.
I didn't get that pack.
I don't know if I did or not. I'll have to go back and look.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd like to compare, because if I find out that, you know, it's something that takes 3 or 4 or 5 or God forbid, you know, the 8 years that this one's been aging.
Oh my God. Hold
then-
on. This super weird flavor note. As I get almost past the second of this, I got this like stone ground mustard.
Whoa.
Like mustard seed.
Super
not,
weird. Yeah, mustard seed almost. It's a really weird note just then.
Did
on
you get the
retro.
sharpness? Like the.
On the palate, yes. On the retro was like this stone, like seed almost. That was crazy.
Like in a full stone
Yeah,
grind.
man. I don't hate it.
Haven't
I've just
quite got
never
there
had
yet.
that out of a cigar before.
Huh.
So super weird flavor note. I like weird
Interesting.
notes.
Yeah.
Feel
That-
free to try it. If
that
you wanna
one is
try it.
not,
That one
uh,
is.
That's not on the shelf here.
No, this was a sample.
This was the sample.
Where did
we
these
got.
come from? They dropped these
Oliva.
off. Dwayne drop them off.
Oh, it's Oliva.
It's Oliva.
Okay.
Flora de Oliva.
Yeah, Flora de Oliva. They're Olivas, so.
And this is the gold.
But it's.
And we don't
it's
usually do a
interesting.
lot of mild cigars on the show.
No.
Yeah, this isn't the right bourbon for this cigar.
I'm not
No, because I
surprised.
think this gives a little more fruit, and this. It's
Ah.
not competing, but it kind of falls a little bit.
I know what I want to drink with this.
Oh, what is it?
Michter's Toasted.
Koval.
Not fucking Koval. No.
I got so much shit for that the other day, and I'm
Man.
just trying to get it out of my cabinet. And everybody's like, "That's the worst bottle I've ever had." It's like, well, it's not that bad.
I got another one if you want it.
Not really.
I think I've got
I'm
two.
still trying to get rid of mine.
Yeah. But yeah, I want Michter's Toasted with this. Think about it, man. That marshmallow, that roasted marshmallow with this, that would be awesome.
Oh, what
it
about
would
the
be
Penelope toasted?
the Penelope. Any toasted would probably work really, really well with this. Yeah.
Man, I just love Michter's. I just love Michter's all around.
I do too.
I just
Great.
don't like that bottle's now $150
Yeah.
when I used to buy it for $50 all day long.
Yeah, but if you go buy it in the 2-pack, it's 200, and then you get something
No,
else
it was
with
$300.
Oh well, whatever.
That's what it says, $150 a bottle.
It was hundreds of
Yeah, it
dollars.
was $300, and you had to buy both.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I was going to buy both anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why I didn't buy the two others, the Baumgar and the
Yeah, and the Shanks.
The Shanks, yeah, because I didn't want to spend $600 that day.
whatever. Joke's on you. We did.
Was it the PFG? Was it the PFG bomb?
I think it was
I think
because
so,
it was that,
yeah.
and then
You
I
guys
can't
should've
remember what
gotten-
Shanks
We
it
fucked
was.
up, didn't
I know.
we? Damn it!
But we were like specifically looking for that bottle. We were like, no way, they have it. And they were like, you can have this,
Yeah,
you can
we
have the
talked about
Bombergers or Shanks.
No, you could have both. They said you could buy both.
Well, there was
It was just
we
$600.
we could have bought it, and then the wives could have bought that.
right,
the
right,
yeah,
exactly.
like
Yeah,
so we
'cause
could have
had-
gotten
yeah, we
it
could
for
got
sure,
'em.
but
yeah.
That's a
But-
good one.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
We
I just
messed
haven't
up.
gotten into that as much, like the Bombergers or the Shanks. Like, I've had them before, but I don't know enough about them to be like, oh, I want this one.
Is that still their distillate?
Yeah.
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 Okay, I wasn't sure if that was like a different brand source thing. Yeah.
Falls under their
Yeah.
umbrella.
We messed up.
Yeah. Well, there's always next year.
There is.
There will be
There is.
plenty more trips. For whatever reason, I have something on the calendar in June as a possible Louisville trip.
Oh.
Were we
I think
planning
that was
something?
possible Nashville.
Oh, was that the
Louisville.
Nashville one?
Well, we have
Oh, we got to talk about that.
to set up the podcast at Boundary Oak.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
that's what it
Boundary
was.
Oak,
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, reach out to them because I know you have a contact there. If they want to do something this summer, let's get that on the calendar so
Sure.
we can plan something out. Because
Okay.
we wanted to hit up Boundary Oak and we wanted to go to Larrikin.
Yeah.
You know how it is, man. I mean, summer starts happening, and all
Oh,
of
I
a sudden
know.
your calendar's full till Labor Day.
So
Oh, well.
It takes like 2 days, and suddenly
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that's
Oh,
it.
we'll
I'm
be
booked.
busy.
My whole summer's
speak-
busy.
Speaking of Larrikin, big news for Larrikin.
Oh.
They just got a new master blender there.
Okay.
We know him very well.
No
Who?
way.
Aaron Mullally from Jay Mattingly. is
No
now
way.
the
no
blender.
kidding.
wow.
That's awesome. Good for him.
Wow.
Shout out Aaron.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Wow. That's
Final
huge.
third exclusive.
Yeah. Sad for J Matt. They lost a good one. But Aaron's super excited. I talked to him for about half an hour Thursday night. He was telling me all about it. So
Wow.
he's pumped. He's really tight with Greg. They've become really good friends the last couple of years. And their palates are so compatible. Like they taste the same. So it's a good matchup. So
Love
there's going
that.
to be some
That's awesome.
exciting things
Good for
coming out
him.
for Larrikin.
Good
Man,
for
I
them.
am pumped for Larrikin. That that was really good. I mean, that was the first time we basically drank a bottle on the show,
It was.
Yeah.
and
It was just It was crushable.
I didn't even feel like we needed to change it up. Like
No.
I never got tired of it.
Yeah.
You know, to me, that's something that's just amazing about a bourbon when you can just sit there and just
Keep wanting
just
more.
just be like, yeah, I'll just take another pour. I
Right.
did that yesterday with the Elijah Craig barrel pick here. I didn't.
I had the
know.
same thing.
I didn't do anything else. I had 3 pours, and each time I went up to the bar, I was like,
Sticking with it.
I'm just sticking with
Yeah.
it.
Well, I
And
mean,
that
the,
was it.
the
It was what I
Kentucky Owl
drank.
guy showed up, so I kind of took a pause in the middle. But I did
Yeah,
the same thing.
yeah.
I did the Elijah Craig barrel pick and just sat there and nursed it the whole time I was here.
Yeah, yeah. Just man, it's just good. If you haven't been to the final third and had the barrel picks, all of them,
Yeah.
all of them are really good, and they're all different.
They're all different.
They're all really different. So hopefully there'll be another barrel pick coming up soon. I know that if you want the backbone rye, that's rye, right? Or is that?
No.
No, it's bourbon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Idiot.
Triple cast finished. Yeah.
There's a new backbone now
Yeah.
that he has. God, I can't remember the bottle.
It's not
very
the
good.
uncut one or whatever, is it?
No. It's
No,
not.
that's the regular one.
You know,
I
I
can't
have,
remember.
I have bottle number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. That one's not getting open. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
gonna. And it's look, I'd open it and drink it in a heartbeat if it was like, the right situation. It's not like it's anything crazy, but
Oh, it's kind of cool.
that was
having
it was
bottle
the
number
first pick I ever went on. So
Yeah.
I love having bottle number 1.
Well, maybe Lisa Wicker will go to JMAT then. Here she's looking for a job.
She wants to distill and run the operations. I don't know. That's not big enough for her, honestly.
Could be.
She
She's
needs
got to go
something
bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
She's
knows?
earned her stripes. She's
You never know. What else we got? How are we going to close this? Got any other news? Any other
No,
notes?
that
Well,
was
probably a
pretty-
couple reminders.
Yeah.
Reminder.
Yeah,
Close
remember, we got-
tomorrow.
Close tomorrow. We got the regular show a week from tomorrow. I will not be there because I'll be down at the track. I don't know. Maybe we can test Zoom and see if it actually works. Because
So let's talk through this real quick. You're going to be at the track. What does that day look like?
yeah, so when you go to qualifications, I've had a long-standing tradition with my oldest daughter, Mackenzie. I've been taking her since she was 3, and she's now 24. I don't know, 24, 23.
Do the
somewhere
math,
around
Mike.
there.
Do the math,
I'm
Mike.
not going to do that.
She's older.
I've been
here
drinking
another
for a
hour.
while.
Fuck.
But I've been taking her since she was 3 to that, and then I think 10 or 11 was her first 500. But we get up very early. The track gates open at 8 a.m. So we usually leave by 6:45, 7 o'clock, and we hit Long's Bakery.
Hell
and
yeah.
Get some Long's donuts.
Get
Dude,
in
the
line.
you get in line.
Get in line.
Cash only.
Yep.
They do not take card. So, but they're awesome. We get our Long's donuts. We've got our coolers packed. We get our sandwiches, everything. We get out to Beast Dam Penthouse. It's chilly. It's just May in Indiana, right? But it's beautiful, right? You're out there. You're at the track, all the green, the racetrack, and you see downtown. Cars start at 8:30 for practice, and they go 8:30 to I think either 9:30 or 10.
I think it's 10.
10 o'clock, so an hour and a half. I think they have a half hour for group 1, half hour for group 2, and then a half hour for anybody to get on the track. And then at 11 o'clock, they start qualifying from 11 to 5:50. And I mean, it's amazing. It's an opportunity
So
to
you
to
camping
see
at this
something that's-
point?
No, I'm not camping.
Okay.
No, we just go down and park usually like in lot 2, or actually I think for that one we go to the corner there at 16th and Georgetown and get parking there. It's $20 or something.
Is that the Coke lot? Or?
No, Coke Lot's at turn 4.
Four.
So turn 1 there at
Oh,
the main
okay,
entrance.
yeah.
Yeah,
Lot
because that's
1
where
or
we're going
whatever.
in. Yeah, they got good parking right there. It fills up fast. So
Yeah.
if you're not there first thing in the morning, you're not going to get it, right? Then Sunday, and the qualifying for Saturday is basically 30 through, I forget if it used to be through 9. It might be through like 11 now, or through 12. I think they do like the top 11 or top 12 for the next day. But if you get into the field at that point,
See you, Doc.
Doc. If you get in the field on Saturday, you're
locked in.
right? And then they have qualifying for the bottom 3, and then they've got the fast 9 or 12 or whatever it is on Sunday. But same thing, gates open at 8. And what I like, Mackenzie's husband, Eric Lee, his family has been going for a long time to that qualifying. And they do the infield. And I did the infield on race day for 15 years. Turn 3, the mounds, the viewing mounds there, they get up real early and they get in line. They're waiting so that they can be right up against the hill. And they got grills. Like, we just bring, meat and beer or a side dish or whatever and contribute. And I mean, there's like 30 of us. You guys are all welcome to join
we did
in.
That last year.
Yeah, because you came last year. Yep.
Yep.
And it was awesome. Man, it's awesome. You're just out there in the grass. Super cool, super laid back. It's not crowded like on race day where you can't hardly stand even though you're in the infield. It's bonkers.
So this is Sunday.
So this is Sunday. And Sunday they're doing the bottom 3, right? The bump that goes in, and then they go to the top 9 or 12 positions, whichever it is. And they have to run. And qualifying at Indy has been mainly the same. It's been the same pretty much since day one. Not the format, but what you have to do to qualify. It is 4 laps. Most of the time in every track, in every type of racing, it is like 1 lap. F1, I think they continuously go.
Or 2.
And
Usually
1 or
at
2
least
laps,
2.
something like that. Yeah. And that's it. Like, it's a combined time. In this case, at the 500, it is 4 laps, and it is your 4-lap average. And the record is 236 miles per hour as an average.
Oof.
Over 4 laps. That could be in question this year. So they were running
there's some car changes
232
and stuff this year that may.
Yeah, they did testing in April, and it was 232 and a half, maybe something like that, 233, as they were testing.
But that's also cold.
It's colder. Also, for qualifying, they give them, it's either a 50 or 100 horsepower boost. They pump up the turbos for that, just for qualifying. It's not race, it's qualifying, right? It's the only race where qualifying is almost a race in and of itself. But it's not you out there with other cars. It is you against the track.
Yep.
And if you haven't been to IMS and gone on even like the bus tour where you get to go on the track and they take you around, I don't know how guys do it. I honestly don't. You're going 30 miles an hour on this bus, and you're going towards turn 1. And turn 1 in Indy is got to be the scariest thing in motorsports, period. Because the stands
not a
are
lot of
right
bank,
there.
and it's
like
a wall.
11 degrees is the bank. So they say it runs like a road course, even though it's an oval. And the stands at Indy, because they're double stacked, nowhere else does that double stack. They're all right on the track. I mean, Georgetown Road is probably, 75 feet away from the track? Yeah, so there's
it's
no
like 30
room.
yards. It's not much.
Yeah. I mean, it's under 100 feet. It's got to be under 100 feet between where the track is and where Georgetown Road is, and they put all those stands there. So they double stack them. And when you're going into turn 1 and you're looking and you're thinking, I'm going to hit those stands. You're not even thinking about the wall at that point. You're like, the stands, I'm going to go right up over this thing, and I'm going to end up with my car in the stands, and I'll be dead. That's just it. I'll be dead. I mean, over 100 people have died at the track. They
just
don't.
turn.
I forget who it was. There was a driver that he said, maybe it was Al Unser, Sr., said that he used to put his left foot on his right foot to make sure that he would not lift. That's what it took for him to do it.
Damn.
Yeah, it is.
Be a bitch.
It is something I just, you guys made me remember what I was going to Google search something here. You're going to love this. There was a driver back in the early 1900s, and Jules Go, G-O-U-X, so however you want to pronounce that.
Let's go.
He said, I'm not going to run this race unless I have champagne. And
I need the liquid courage.
he reportedly drank champagne throughout the entire race. I think somewhere I had heard 4 bottles. 500 miles, which at that time in 19...
Hey!
That
Damn.
one snuck up on us.
Yeah, that one did sneak up on us.
Nice.
It's the same
And
guy.
he's
He
also...
turned around.
Yeah, he turned around.
He
coming
forgot his
back.
keys.
But
Man, that's like a new one. It's all nice and clean.
so
There's no
apparently in 1913, he drank champagne, and after, After that, they had to put an act into place to ban alcohol consumption by drivers. I wouldn't have thought that was something that would have been a requirement. Like, to actually
kinda
have to put in the
implied.
rules, you
Yeah.
can't, like, you think I'm not going to drink alcohol while I'm out here racing. But that's what he did.
Well,
and he said he would
1913,
not.
there was probably a lot of
1913.
people that were just like, I need this with my breakfast.
So
Right.
let's dial in. What time do you start on Sunday?
Same thing, Sunday, 8
8
a.m.
a.m.
We
And
get in
it's
there
over
right
when?
away, and then it ends at 6 o'clock.
6. Oh shit. I was gonna say maybe we go do a test run with the internet.
I mean, I'm happy to try and call in or something. Yeah, let's work it out.
No, I think he
I
meant
mean,
from
I'll be out there.
Well,
Yeah,
like
I know.
us
you
go
guys
there.
will be. Oh,
Us go there.
go
and do
there
it.
and do the show on Sunday.
So you're gonna be in the infield
Yeah,
on Sunday.
yeah. We just need power.
I don't know if I could be there all day, but either.
You only need to be there for a couple hours.
Well,
for
I can
the
talk-
podcast.
Well, I mean, are you
I can
going?
talk to Josh Prine because he's got a little Honda generator.
Are you going to the stands? Are you staying in the infield?
It'll be in the infield, the whole
Infield.
time.
Okay.
They have tents.
So then maybe we just go there first thing, and we just go to quals on Sunday, and we just do our test run during
Do
that.
the show
Yeah.
right there.
We'll just do it from there.
I mean, there'll be cars going on the track.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
It's not going to be any
It's
louder.
going to be
than that.
louder than the train.
I mean, yeah, every quarter mile you'll hear a and then it'll go away.
Yeah, once every 40 seconds.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. I don't know. Will?
I'm out. I've got to get my daughter from college that day. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so you're
he's out
you're
either way.
She's
anyway.
been there
You're
all
out
year.
anyway.
She can stay one more day.
You tell her that.
yeah.
Hey, look, I mean, doing a show live from the track is never a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
It's always going
Gotta
to be
check
fun.
with Rob too. I don't know what Rob's saying.
Yeah, Rob
Well-
might have to work.
We'll check with Rob. Rob, if you're still listening, if you want to join us, please. If not,
We can figure it out.
do we want to go?
Well, they don't open till
I
what,
don't know.
noon?
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. So
They don't open here till noon. So if we do it
Correct.
9 in the morning, he can still come here and open.
Sure.
Oh, so you're saying next week we might do a morning show?
Yeah. We'll just do an early morning show, and then
Look, I think practice is over at 10, and then they don't start qualifying till 11. So
maybe we start at like 9.
We could do, no, I'd
9
say
to
do 10
11.
o'clock.
Okay.
Do 10 to noon.
So 10 to noon, and then
All right, so special program note, we might be coming at you
Yeah.
from the track. We'll see.
Tune in
We'll
next week
text
to
Rob.
find out.
tune in next week to find out what we're doing. We
Pay
gotta move
attention to
on.
the socials. Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll post it out there. Yep.
We got to move on. Pay attention to socials. You can find me at both the visuals, Spencer Lee's, and don't forget to follow the Final Third Podcast and Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge.
You can find me at Scotty D Smokes.
Find me at Cocky Wolverine, and I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the
Happy
moms
Mother's
out
Day.
there.
Happy Mother's Day.
Moto Photo Will on Instagram.
We're going to hit the track, guys. We're going to the Grand Prix. We're going to get drunk. We're going to do it. Let's
We'll
have a good
see
day.
y'all.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.